Alrighty, welcome everybody to round 6, Destiny 2 versus DTF. I'm Ryan X Alpha Acacia, and I am joined today by BRDN Braden
Hello, hello.
and Liam Blade Xer.
Hello.
All right. Um, yeah,
Stream looks good. Looks good. Ready to dive into this fantastic matchup between Destiny 2, the sister team of Destiny. Sure, Brayden has a lot to say about him, and DTF. Do not ask what the abbreviation means. Do not.
do not. All right. Both teams currently in the lobby right now, waiting for Byron to show up.
Yep.
Game's scheduled to start in 3 minutes.
Hopefully
So
we don't have to start that timer though.
yeah, we're just waiting on Byron for now. But yeah,
So go on.
go on.
You talk, you
No.
talk. Alright, I was gonna say like who do we have? Like who do we have? Who we got our bets on?
Oh, who do we have? Who do we got our
Yeah,
bets
like some
on?
pre predictions before the game starts, before we see draft. Like who do we have
Um,
going to win?
I'm hoping for Destiny 2 to win, but
Why's that?
honestly, the game looks pretty even between these two teams. Why is that?
Yeah, I
Um,
want to know. Is it because they're like easier for you to take out, or like why Destiny 2?
I don't know. I'm just hoping for them. I've seen Stephen J put in the work, and it's good to see that. And I hope he gets rewarded for the amount of work he's put in to hit masters in such a short period of time. So,
Don't worry, he's
um,
going down just as quick.
yes, we don't talk about that part.
What about
Johnny,
you, Blade?
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
no, go
Sorry,
Blade
sorry.
Ixer. Your prediction next.
Who doesn't love a good underdog story of Destiny 2 making it into the playoffs through the losers bracket and making the Cinderella run? I believe this team is the upgraded version of Destiny after all, so they can make the run. I'm expecting them to give a big challenge to DTF, not expecting a wash either way. So I'm expecting, 2-1 series. I'm hoping it's going to go Destiny 2's way with their new roster additions, with the revitalization of their players. I think it could be possible, but all I know it's probably going to be a very chaotic set of games here. Destiny 2's new style, certainly. They play with no pulled punches. They're gonna throw everything they've got at DTF. Certainly, I'm gonna see if Charadis can keep things under control in his roster. I know it's sort of a very chaotic team versus a very controlled one, so we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I would hope to see Destiny 2 take it home, but DTF also, there's people in that squad definitely want to make a run further than third place. I imagine this season. They don't want it to end here too, so they're going to be taking it pretty seriously. But what do you think, Raiden? What team are you rooting for?
Honestly, I think it's pretty even. But if I was gonna say who will win this whole series, oh, it's hard. You guys both said Destiny, right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, I'll go against you. I'll go for DTF because I'm a Cribdis fan. You know, I love watching Cribdis. Is my favorite. So yeah, I'm going for DTF this game. But you know what? Like C4J, he has been putting in a lot of games lately, and he did hit Masters not too long ago. But like you said, he did drop as fast as he got there. But yeah, I mean, this should be a good game. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to watch what happens.
I'm
Johnny,
pretty interested. Yeah.
Johnny was asking the chat to turn your light, bro. What's going on?
My light, unfortunately, like my light switch is broken, so
Ah,
like
unlucky.
it's not getting turned on, unfortunately.
Unlucky, bro.
Very interested in public opinion in Destiny 2. It's a team. I think if you asked this question about a month ago, no one would expect them to take this matchup, but now we're getting people saying it's an even roster after you know, the grind to masters, the roster swap corruption out. Is that the only reasons why, or is there any other reasons in your mind, Braden, that this team has leveled up quite a bit since the playoffs started to now?
I think they've just been putting in a lot more games. Just from, I don't want to leak any scrims, but from watching scrims and whatnot, like I think they've maybe like, I wouldn't say excelled, but I would probably say, they've maybe they've fixed a few issues in terms of, macro wise, and I guess not as much coin flipping going on, but other than that, yeah, I think they've pulled together, pulled their heads in a bit, coming up to this match. So yeah,
It does sound like the Destiny effect that was their trademark with people like DC Guard and Isuko in the jungle, often for funning throughout the season and pulling their heads in when it came around to the playoffs. So they're really emulating the the sister team vibes there. So hoping to see them make a run, but also hoping we're gonna start on time without any bans lost, because it looks like Byron's cutting it pretty close here.
Yeah, 1 minute left on the first ban loss, unfortunately. Still no Byron in sight.
does
But
this
yeah,
team know where Byron is by any chance or no?
I've can't. There's a lot of chatter in this chat, but I don't see any updates. Someone invited Soy. Did,
Is
what?
this the sub? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I don't. But yeah, I mean, we're still waiting.
Is this Byron's second account or like what's going on here?
Who knows? But
I was asking Alpha earlier, Blade. Who would you rather verse? Destiny 2 or sorry, what's their
DTF.
name again? DTF, yes. Who would you rather verse and
I'd
why?
probably you say like they don't like to coin flip a lot of Destiny 2, but I would say they're a more chaotic team. I'd say a team with a more controlled style, and a bit more one dimensional in the way of DTF. Of their champion picks, their play styles, their team compositions they build. I think that's something that we've proven that we can beat, already have beaten, and probably are going to consistently beat, despite what Charybdis might tell you on every podcast he goes on. But Destiny 2 definitely have a bit more flair. I'd say they have a bit more X factor towards their team. So in the best of series, you never know what's going to happen. I wouldn't want to face a team with X factor and potential players popping off and turning up on the night. So I'd say I'd personally want DTF to win, to make our lives easier. But with either team, you got to get through them to get to grand finals anyway.
All right.
It's not a huge
It
difference. Oh,
sounds like Soy is their
Mid
emergency
laner?
sub, and they are ready to go. So I will start the lobby
Okay.
and see how we go.
So did like who picked what side? Like
Who picked what side? It looks DTF
yeah.
is blue side, right?
Also DTF wanted blue side. They wanted first pick.
yeah, as the highest seed, that would be the first side selection. So I would imagine that is their plan here. With strong picks like Yunara in the meta, she recently copped a nerf in the patch. I don't know how much that's affecting her at our particular skill level, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think that's sort of angling towards a Yunara first pick, as they tried to do against us.
Yeah, they're definitely proing Yunara. If not, do you reckon they first pick Sejuani like they have in the past?
Do not try my patience.
There's a good possibility towards that, putting Nash onto the tank jungler, or taking those champions that are like sort of blind pick, or Strider Renekton's certainly on the cards as a round 1 pick there, just to make sure, you know, bot lane has a bit more flexibility as they seem to play towards that as the win con. But yeah, I'd be expecting Yunara first pick. If not, then yeah, we're probably going to see that blind pick Renekton or a tank locked away. And yeah, we'll see what they decide to draft around there. But what do you think Destiny 2 is going to do as an answer there? They've obviously got to blind pick one of their champions. But do you think there's any signature champions coming out of Destiny 2 side that we're going to see picked very early on in this fearless before it's taken away?
I mean, I'm assuming Wukong's going to be picked 1 and 2, right? Like, I don't think C4J really plays anything else. Like, right? Like,
Yeah,
am I wrong?
Wukong sounds ideal, I think.
And I'm surprised that they're giving it to it.
Well, not yet.
True, not yet.
Oh wait, actually, yeah, no, not yet. Nash,
'Cause I don't think
could
Nash
first
plays
pick
it, right? Nash doesn't play it, so...
I think there's a famous quote by Charybdis at one point towards C4J saying if he picked Wukong, he comes 4th or something. We'll see if I think we'll see if that holds any truth to the
Yunara's
statement.
up, so
Not sure if it's the exact statement, but yeah, Yunara is up here, so that's being allowed through as well. But Zaya is being taken off the board. A key pick from Charybdis taken away.
I wonder if he does want it though. Oh, so they do pick up the Wukong.
I don't know. Wukong's not that crazy difficult to pilot. I think it's pretty easy
that is
bruiser to
very
play,
true.
right?
Yeah, I mean...
So I hope to see Nash able to pilot this decently, but the response should be interesting. Lulu being the answer into it. I'm guessing they're going to take Yunara, or are they going to answer the jungle? Lulu blinds as a response to Wukong is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just a layer of depth you have in that Fearless series where you're saying, you know, we know you probably want this champion. Both teams are saying that with their current picks, saying, you know, these are champions you're probably proficient on, you want to play later on into the series, and we're going to make sure to take that and build a comp around that suits us. It's not only is it just going to allow them to deny that from future picks, but it's still pretty good for their composition if they're able to pick up stuff like that Lulu Zeri now. It's good composition. It's a bit passive in lane, and we're going to see what they're able to do. Are they going to match it with that scaling like they are doing with the Sona right now, or are they going to toss out something a bit more aggressive or even a bit off tempo, maybe a Twitch to play for the map sort of style? Certainly haven't seen Charybdis really change his tactics he normally plays for his lane, but there are definitely some options you can do at this point in the game. We'll see how he decides to drive this draft. But Sona was not on my bingo card. What about you, Braden?
100%. I definitely did not see this coming, to be honest. Because Destiny 2 insta-locked Zeri Lulu 1 and 2, and they answered with Sona. So what is their plan? I guess like to let Zeri free farm. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
it's maybe a bet to say Sivir is just as strong in the scaling, but Sivir being locked away quite early with that much, you know, being revealed on the side of the enemy draft here. Zinzao certainly a fine pick towards it, but yeah, if you don't pick that many melees, Sivir doesn't really nearly get that ricochet value in those team fights, being unable to hit those frontliners. So we'll see how the draft ends up going on Destiny 2. They don't have that quintessential assassin player in the mid lane Byron this game, so that's another element that we haven't really thought about what Soy is going to bring to this roster as that X factor or sub player coming in last minute.
Do we know what rank Soy is, by the way?
I think it was Emerald 4.
Emerald 4.
But I've heard of Soy before, or got his OpenGG pulled up or anything. So Zig's getting banned away from Asian Bus Driver. They're gonna looks like they're focusing their bans onto Asian Bus Driver over Strider's infamous Renekton and Ornn.
You can't cage me
Not too afraid of it. And the Sona Sivir pick, I'm assuming they're not really afraid of any lane pressure or gameplay happening. As a Sona quite infamously known as a very, very weak laner, not able to do basically anything until level 6, and even then it's pretty obvious what she wants to do with her ult. So
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Sona pick. Personally, I do not like the champion, but I can kind of see the vision with Wukong ulting in and then dropping a Sona ult on top. But then again, like, Sona has to be in range to drop that ult, so I'm not too sure how this game's really gonna go. But if I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm favoring actually Cribdis's comp more, just because I don't really like the Trundle here, if I'm gonna be honest.
don't like the Trundle.
Yeah,
What's
I
wrong with
think
Trundle
Zeri.
here?
Yeah, I think Zeri also into Wukong is just not a good pick. Like, I think, like, even
Okay.
into Lulu as well. So
I think we're going to get some answers later on in the draft. One thing we haven't really factored in is the fact that Wukong can certainly be flex
Oh.
picked, but being into the blind top pick, yeah, I don't think Wukong's the sort of champion you want to be blinding. Probably do want to put that more towards that jungle role and put Strider on that safer blind pick champion. Looks like they are going to lock away Asian bus driver Zoe for the first time here. Finally gets to play. He's been playing it quite a lot in the solo queue, is what he's been practicing as a more aggressive pick, and finally brings it out versus Soy. He's really going to be put to the test to see if he can survive this sort of more aggressive lane pick. And certainly the comp they're building is going to get very difficult to get on on top of people. If Azir's not finding that shuffle or Trundle's not finding an amazing pillar, this comp is so fast, and they've got decent disengage tools now with the Sona ult, with Wukong ult, Renekton standing in front. The team has quite a bit more range added to it with that Zoe, so definitely gives some options in the team fights and the skirmishes and how they want to play it.
100%. What are your thoughts on Zoe at the moment? Is she strong or is she weak, in your opinion?
I think just into the solo queue environment, she's actually really strong. She's got an amazing laning phase compared to a lot of these other mages. They don't really come online into the game that quickly. Like Azir, you're not really seeing come online to that first item at all, be a threat. So this is sort of the perfect matchup. You want Zoe to just move forward, disrespect, get all lane control, and really come online in those early skirmishes. With the champion like Wukong coming online at level 6-2, you're really going to have a powerful mid jungle duo, which is going to stop a lot of that early game aggression from Destiny 2, or it should stop them if they decide to take those fights. I'm expecting Zoe to put out a lot more value, especially if she takes things like the Ignite. It's going to be a really hard duo to out skirmish there. But obviously, most of the mid lane champions that are meta at the moment, like that Azir, they're that sort of inevitability. So he does fall off a cliff once, Trundle gets a couple health or tank items. That Zoe's not going to ever really hurt that Trundle anymore. But certainly has some angles towards the squishier team composition, like Zeri, Lulu, Azir. Always has some playmaking if you hit a bubble there. But yeah, we'll see how things go with items like Mikhail's and Cleanse being pretty accessible to ADCs to take. It's very hard to make it work at the top level. So we'll see if the Asian bus drivers going to make this pick viable in this game. I'd say it all really depends on how he pilots that lane and how he's able to bring the fight to Soy. Is he able to build a lead and rotate around the map in those skirmishes, be that menace early game? Because if he just safely scales like they're aiming to do bot lane, I don't think it's the best pick for the comp at all.
I definitely agree. I think Asian bus driver Zoe has to do something in the early to mid, or else I feel like actually there still will be value actually with a bubble. But I feel like he has to probably be more proactive in the early game and look for those plays, as like Destiny 2's comp is just full scale, it looks like. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Who do you think won draft here?
Ryan, you want to put any thoughts in? We've been talking a lot. You got any 2 cents you want to slide in?
I don't know. Sona is just like an instant loss in lane. So mid lane, I mean, Zoe Azir is just a skill matchup. Azir, like you said, doesn't come online until like one item. Zoe's a little bit more useful with the bubble and damage she can output early. And she's like always kind of like a threat throughout the game with her bubble. I think even if she does get put behind, if she does get a catch with her bubble, I think she could be valuable there. Top lane is Renekton to Jax. That sounds like a half decent matchup for Jax. It just depends on whether you get the counter strike off before the W. So all in all, I think I'm leaning towards Destiny 2 more. Oh, the jungle matchup, Trundle into Wukong. I think Trundle just beats a lot of melees. I think if you want to beat the Trundle, you have to pick like something with the dashes. So Wukong is a decent matchup into it, but yeah, I'm leaning towards Destiny 2's comp this game. It is a little bit more difficult to pull off, but if they do play it as like a kite comp, I think it will win this game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they did pick the Zeri Lulu, and they're into Sivir Sona, so I believe Zeri Lulu should win out the early game, right? If I'm wrong.
Yep, should.
Yeah, so these guys should be able to stack drags and use that early game tempo from bot lane to stack drags and probably look for that soul win con really. So that's what I'm expecting Destiny 2 to do, but we'll see what they do, what they plan for in this game.
What do you think about the engage on either side here? Do you think Destiny 2 has a problem with engage on their drafts? Do you think Trundle Pillar and Jax is going to cut it, or
No, I
you
don't
know,
think
is he
so at
going in for
all.
the shuffle engage? Is probably a very rare thing you can do at the start of a fight.
Look, if we're saying these players are playing perfectly this game, I'm saying Destiny 2's comp is actually a lot harder to pull off, like mid to late, just because they don't have that go in button. But you know, maybe they could drop the Trundle Pillar and maybe look for something. But then again, you don't want your Izzy engaging for you, so it's very hard. I think they're relying on DTF to engage for them and just punish off of that. But other than that, it's got to be really hard for Destiny 2 to engage and force plays on them, really, unless DTF goes in. So yeah.
I'm extremely glad Bashar is pressing the B button right now. If anyone saw it, he finally purchased
straight
his
into the
first
fight.
item. Yeah, so I was hoping someone on his team had pulled that up, or he realized before it was too late and he walks into lane without a Duran's item. That would certainly not be an ideal situation for a Renekton. But yeah, just Ascended fan. No team's really getting any solid information either. So yeah,
they've completely given up laning phase because there's a cull first purchase for Sivir as well. So hopefully Admona and Chanel are able to capitalize on it. But yeah, time will tell, I suppose.
I mean, to me, it looks like a bit of disrespect coming out of Cryptus. Just saying that he's gonna buy a cull because he knows that they're not going to push any leads really in the early game, and he's going to scale for free. So
a lot of aggressive trading going on his top side here. Monkey D Heidi really opting to trade his health away, knowing that maybe his junglers on the top side can bail him out if the situation doesn't favor him. And it's the opposite, but Nash is playing towards that bot side. But he will probably eventually pass towards that top here. So I wonder if the jungle tracking is there on point for either side. They know where the jungles are, because I don't think the early vision was that fantastic either side. Certainly could be some plays made by the jungle, but I don't think we've talked too much about the jungle matchup. This was a counter pick Trundle into the Wukong raid, and do you have any thoughts as to, you know, is that a good matchup for the Trundle? What are your thoughts there?
I think it's okay. I mean, realistically, like Trundle should win, like most melee matchups. But you know, the Wukong's never gonna run into you, like and just trade with you. So Wukong Wukong has more. How do I say it? Has more variety in terms of what he can do. In terms of rather than just a Trundle dropping a pillar on top of your head. But I just think Wukong is a lot more of a better champ. In terms of this game as well, but you know, it does depend on the player. So yeah.
I guess we'll
One
see.
thing we haven't really touched on is that Zoe took Ghost in this lane. I think he'd really be angling a kill if he had Ignite, but it's a bit more of an interesting choice and something we touched on that maybe that's going to pay off dividends in the later team fights, just being able to play the max range Zoe skill shots. And the engage just isn't that threatening onto the side of Destiny 2, so certainly having a very mobile and slippery Zoe in those team fights could be a bit problematic. But look at this Soy is trying to bait a gank here with Chanel, but looks like it's just going to be the cost of a flash for cost of a bubble, which is you know, a 5-minute cooldown versus a 20-second one. Not quite the trade you want to see in the side of the early game. So small victory there already for the Zoe in this early game.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that trade. That was very interesting, but Wukong's already finished his first clear, and Trundle is very far behind, only just finishing the bottom scuttle. Looking like he's...
looks like he's walking bot.
Yeah, he's angling for a gank on bot lane on this very, very weak Sona Siva.
Directed camera not doing me any favors, I don't know you guys, but it's yeah, it's very interested in this top you know, noodle fight.
Top side.
Both top laners going for defensive items there, but one thing noticeable about this lane state is that Monkey D. Hardy hasn't used his teleport, but Strata has, so Strata really needs to crash this wave, but if it's not in time, Monkey D. Hardy can set up a freeze here. He can do a lot of things with this wave. He could try push it, not let Strata recall. I'd say Monkey D. Hardy's having a bit more of a positive lane state right now. And Strata could be in a bad situation. Speaking of being in a bad situation, Akuma Senpai gets taken very low, but it's just a bait. She's holding onto the W. Ardmona now put in a bad position with lethal tempo stacked up on the side of Charybdis. He is threatening for a kill there, but a nice heal back from Chanel. And Ardmona going to drop some damage back and get out safely there, but it is at the cost of 2 summoners. Charybdis holding onto 2 of his own is really seeing blood in the water. I think he wants to really try to get a kill and accelerate this Siva, which would be tremendous with that cold start.
Yeah, I mean, you know, while you were looking at bot lane, I was kind of looking what was going on with C4J. I mean, he just took his first back and is about to do his second clear. I'm not too sure what was going on there. I was kind of hoping for Nash to just send it onto C4J as he has a Sheen and he hasn't bought yet, but unfortunately he just takes the camp and goes to his full clear, and now it's done, and C4J is hitting his first camp on his second clear, so...
Yeah, more trading top lane. The camera really loves them, but I would say that something I can notice and pull up is that the XP lead is probably about half a level once Monkey D. Hardy clears this wave here, so pretty small advantage, but an advantage nonetheless for that top lane. He is going to have that level XP advantage over Strider, and maybe that gives him a small window. C4J really looking to angle for a gank, but he knows it's warded. He's trying to play around it, but Strider's not giving it to him. He has level 6 here. Strider has the potential to 1v2 this. The stats on Monkey D. Hardy is not great, but in the mid lane, Legion Bus Driver gets ulted on the tower. C4J, level 4 versus level 6, is trying to take down Strider, but he's just so strong on this Renekton at that power spike. Monkey D. Hardy, if he's able to get in range for his stun, could be angling for a kill here, but Strider holds onto his flash, just slice and dices out of danger there, and he's going to beat out a lot of time from the side of that Destiny 2 jungler. Meanwhile, Bot Nash getting things done in the farm department is taking a bit of a lead here.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Bot Nash go for this dragon. Obviously, he just saw Trundle going on that top side, trying to make that play. But instead he's opting to get C4J that's overstayed his welcome, having to burn flash away from the Wukong. Very messy early game, if I wouldn't say so.
You know what, I did comment on Destiny 2 not being as coin flippy, but watching C4J, it kind of looks like just coin flip after coin flip, really. Like, he's hidden one camp off his second clear, and now is just really behind. I believe Wukong is a camp or 2 off of level 6, and he can just force Drake. Which I would like to see, but I'm not too sure what's going to happen in these next couple of minutes. So.
Yeah, I think the comms have been, hey, we're very weak bot, let's just try to do something elsewhere, because, yeah, it looks like Nash is just kind of avoiding bot lane like the plague right now, which is not really what we want to see.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not... So, Ardmona is level 6, and their bot lane is still level 5, so... I mean, you know, with Wukong ult, it is a big power spike, and it's pretty much a free team fight win. So I would like to see Nash force something off of his level up. So
and he's forcing something. He's going topside here. The war jump to try to get him out to safety, but he has no resources left, no flash, and that's first blood now for Strider on this Renekton pick. He's going to get a lead back and crash this wave here and cause a lot more damage to Monkey D. Heidi. He's playing so aggressive this entire laning phase, and Nash caught on. He's there at the right time, right place, and finds that first blood for the side of DTF, and now he's going to try and translate that into the grubs for the team. But Chanel is rotating up to that. Vision Bus Driver fighting for this mid priority, is losing out in that trade here. Now Bot Nash, without his ult, is getting run down by C4J, has to use the flash out. The pillar there, trying to close him off, but fortunately, not quite the angle. He's trying to get out of harm's way now, but he walks onto the bubble, Strider on top of him. Bot Nash back in the fray and takes down C4J. His team wasn't quite there positioned for the grub fight, and the rest of DTF do collapse, and they do punish him for his mistake here. Looks like they might be even looking for more with these Zoe bubbles. Raining artillery. Half of Chanel's gone from that paddle star, and that is a lot of damage done on the side. That's going to call DTF off of this play, and they're going to give over these grubs. So I believe the side of DTF, they got all 3 grubs, despite, you know, C4J looking to start that one earlier and really having a good angle for it with that ult advantage, but it doesn't end up working out. The team play from DTF is just really better, and they secure away that early objective. Not the result I was expecting. I don't know about you guys.
No, I think if they waited for Jax just to come, it would have been, and they played it a lot slower, they definitely would have won it out, because Wukong just lost ult and Strider, so I'm very surprised that they even won that, to be honest. But I think it was just a numbers advantage at the end of the day. And yeah, Destiny 2 played a little bit slower, waited for the Jax to come in, and they would have won that grub fight with ease.
Yeah, that is going to be a pretty significant money advantage there. 1.5k is nothing to scoff at this early on into the game, and yeah, when you've got scaling champions like that Sivir and Sona, it is going to be quite frightening. But there is scaling on the other side. I will say that the Zoe, you know, hasn't really gotten a crazy early advantage like we're talking about, and there's that scaling factor on that Azir. We'll see if they're able to get anything back, but look at the Zoe just poking away. Probably going to expect to see a lot of these. I'm hoping that, you know, Lulu goes towards the Mikhails earlier rather than later this game to counteract that champion. It's one of the key tools to use against her. Otherwise, there could be some really significant bubbles later on in this game because I could turn it on its head. Soy is walking near to Wukong, and unfortunately, Bot Nash doesn't find that ultimate to cancel him out of the dash. That would have been so close to a kill, but not quite going to find it, and that's another ult cooldown before the dragon here. I wonder if Destiny 2 are going to try play off of that.
Yeah, Wukong's sitting on a lot of gold right now. He has his full item on his reset, and I really hope Wukong does decide to get that reset before we start that dragon. He did just use his ultimate as well, so some aggression in the bot lane. Charybdis fencing his chances.
I did not see this coming, to be honest, with this bot matchup. I mean, Charybdis does have his first item to Zeri's.
Teleport here, but Azir's nowhere near the action. I don't think he's going to be able to find anyone. Just an ult used from Sivir on the hunt, more like on the retreat. But nonetheless is going to get them out of harm's way. That might give them tempo over to this objective, but I think the damage has been done. Zoe's just smashing away plates and waves in the mid lane, and they're going to use this tempo to get another wave in bot. Reset on Charybdis, and he's going to be spending a lot of money, and he's finished that cold completion. He's looking pretty strong in this game. I think you're pretty happy with how this laning phase is going if you're Charybdis, and you're getting towards those second and third items where Sivir really starts to become a monster, especially with the Sona at her side, speeding her up, giving those extra stats. It's going to be quite the force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, I think DTF is actually playing quite well at the moment. In terms of maybe they could have got Drake a lot easier, so just giving it over. But you know what? At least Nash is trading some camps for it, so he's not going out empty-handed. So yeah, I mean,
gold differences across the board. It's just kind of crazy, really. 3k gold or 2k gold lead right now. 2 kills up, 1 dragon down. It's looking pretty good for DTF right now with the scaling comp and the Sivir and the Sona getting pretty much a free lane. Unfortunately, the Zeri and the Lulu not being able to capitalize on that weak lane early. And yeah, C4J quite far behind because of his pathing decisions, trying to counter these plays.
Yeah, see how respectful Strider's playing these trades. He's got a ward in the river and he's still respecting it on the odd occasion that could be maybe a lane gank from the Trundle. He's just playing these trades very passively, even though he's 1k ahead. I'm pretty sure if he pops ult, he can easily run down that Jax, possibly even angle for the 1v2, but playing it very respectfully, knows that he's in the lead. His team's in a good position to win, and if they don't do anything crazy, they can probably run away with just fighting for objectives here. Not the best trade out of him there, but yeah, I think they're pretty happy with how things are going. He does finally pop the Dominus here, is looking for that kill onto Monkey D. Heidi. Pops the flash, trying to get out of dodge towards his jungler, but not quite in time there. And Button was waiting on the wings anyway, so yeah, we're just seeing, you know, Monkey D. Heidi still trying to play very aggressive, try to play towards that playstyle he's been doing, but things are a bit different when Renekton's got a 1k gold lead over you. You can't be making those same trades, and he is going to be punished for that in the end by Strider. Finally having a good game on this Renekton fixture, which, you know, people have stopped banning away from him, but he is very experienced in this champion. So he is showing it this game, which, you know, some other games he hasn't been able to show it, but looks like they're finally pulling the trigger bot, looking for a kill onto Ardmona. Almost pick up Chanel with the Q onto the Sivir, but unfortunately does pop the heal, gets out of dodge there. Jay is now trying to punish Strider with that flash down, with that ult down, but doesn't quite have the damage. He's just so far behind on this Trundle. He's not dealing the damage he normally would be, and it's just going to be another wasted effort from C4J. Not completely, it is going to buy some tempo for his top laner, but Strider could probably just teleport back to that lane and save things, and that is exactly what he does.
Yeah, I mean, I think DTF is playing really well right now. Like, they're very consistent at the moment. They're not coin flipping as much as Destiny 2 is. C4J looks really desperate at the moment. He needs to calm it down a little bit and just farm up while his team is just doing the same thing. So, oh, here we go.
Just yeah, that wasn't even.
Yeah,
that wasn't even close. So he get completely baited there into thinking that he could kill Cryptus, but he has the support of his Wukong and his Sona there to back him up and secure the kill onto that Azir. Unfortunately, hitting his power spike on the first item, but not enough. As we see Richel getting started up, C4J finally trying to make those more safe plays, trading the top side objective for the enemy's bot side jungle. Is it too late for them to come back from this game? It's looking pretty difficult.
Yeah, it seems like they're just losing the thread passively across the lanes. Just towers going down organically just through trades and 2v2s. It's not really plays that are even working out into these objectives. They are going for this mid tower. Looks like C4J is finding the flank, but he does get shut down by that bubble. Cherub just trying to turn it around with that massive gold lead. Ardmona trying to deal all the damage he can back, and he is barely able to find that kill with the Charybdis, but it's going to trade out his life. A beautiful shuffle there onto Asian Bus Driver is going to pick him up. Button Ash doing all the damage he can to try to turn this one around, but Zia has stacked up that lethal tempo. He's wailing away onto the side of DTF, but he doesn't quite have that damage to pick up the remainder of the kills, and Strider has arrived so strong on this Renekton. Look at that health bar. No one is really going to be able to challenge him on that champion here, and they are going to turn it around for a 3-for-3 at the end of the day, I believe. Actually, no, it was just a 2-for-3 for the side of DTF, messing up my numbers there, but yeah, it is just a small victory again going over to the side of DTF. They just have the gold lead here. If these plays were made with equal gold, I think they might have had a shot there, but they're already far behind and it's not looking good. 5k down for the side of Destiny 2, and they really got to make something happen to get these bounties back in their pocket.
Looks like we might be seeing another fight rising here. C4J opting for this fight. Ults used by Sivir and Wukong and Renekton, but everyone's ult except for Jax used on the side of Destiny 2. Getting that mid priority before this dragon was decision by DTF here. Moving towards this dragon now. There should be just a free objective, but C4J did look like he wanted to contest this, but the rest of his team does not have ultimates. But it looks like they're gonna contest it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Destiny 2, I would definitely want to be contesting this. If I was to make a coin flip play, this would be the coin flip play I would make.
Yeah, it's probably going to get worse from here. They did take a tower. They haven't spent the gold. it's not the worst that most of them are sitting on their 1-item spike, but there are people like Jaredus in the game on their 2nd item so strong. They really need to be looking at him in this fight with no flash. Hopefully they're able to find an Azir shuffle on him and take him down. But it looks like they're just not able to find the engage here, and they find a beautiful bubble onto Azir. That's going to take him out of the fight off the rip here. Jaredus finally finds that kill, but Butnash a bit ahead of his team does get taken down. Jaredus fighting back, gets taken a bit low, but Ardmona is doing his best to take people down. Agent Bus Driver takes for Jay as he's running for the heal. Jaredus goes in, finds the spell shield onto that Jackson beautifully, and is going to pick up a killing spree onto him here. And the rest of the Destiny 2 squad are running for the hills, running for home base here, as they just try and get away from this Zoe, who is just untouched in this entire team fight, raining skill shots. So, you know, we weren't expecting Zoe to be such a monster in these team fights, but they just don't have the tools to get on top of them. It's really showing in these team fights, and yeah, the kite comp has really come online for the side of DTF.
Yeah, I mean, when you have no form of engage and the enemy team has poke like the Zoe, it is quite hard to play, especially trying to dodge those Zoe bubbles, because as you can see, if one Zoe bubble hits, you're most likely dead. So it is a bit of a tough time for Destiny 2 at the moment, but I mean, yeah, do you think they can come back? Because personally, I'm not too sure at this stage. So as C4J hasn't even finished his jungle item yet. Oh, there we go. It's finally finished at 19 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I do not know whether they're able to come back. They have the Azir and the Zeri scaling in order to, and the Jax, I guess, but they completely forfeited their laning phase, DTF, in the bot lane in order to scale up. And I mean, we're seeing the Sivir being able to run in, run out of these fights relatively unharmed. These bubbles causing a lot of issues for Destiny 2 as well. It's going to be very difficult, and as we said before, like, the execution required on the side of Destiny 2 is quite high, and so it's going to take a lot of bravado, I guess, to pull off the comeback in this game.
Yeah,
It's stuff like this when the Sona's online. It's just like, it's so hard already for the Azir, like Jax is and the Trundle to play the game, but with stuff like that Sona giving all these extra stats, these movement speeds, it just becomes borderline impossible for them to find the angle. They've just got to hope that DTF extend into them. They really clump up versus Zeri if she's able to finish this Runon's Hurricane maybe, and they clump up. Zeri can get a lot of value in a team fight and turn it on its head, but like the stats are just so not in their favor right now. It's gonna be such a hard team fight for them. So I'm thinking, you know, perfect play is certainly not winnable for the side of Destiny 2, but throws are on the cards. Adakan would be a way to throw it with how much damage this objective does, but it doesn't seem like they're positioned very well to respond to this at all, and they're burning it down so quick onto the side of DCF. They got to arrive here quick, but we'll see. C4J doesn't get in range here. This could be a 50-50 if they're not careful.
does look like a 50-50 to me.
Yeah, but C4J is opting for the kill. He actually finds the Charidus alone. There's no Sona here to help him, and that's a shutdown. The Charidus agent Bus Driver also in a bad situation, gets taken down by Ardmona, but Strider is so strong he is going to look to pick up the rest of the fight for his team. Coming in on that Renekton, looking to find Ardmona, trying to kite out, and does find him here. Soy just doesn't have the damage to be that threatening in the fight at this point in the game, and Strider does save the game for what was looking like a very scary situation. Strider shows up on this Renekton, and he's just untouchable, does take them down. Soy is just looking for an execute to deny more gold going their way, but he didn't wait long enough, unfortunately. They were hot on his heels, and Butnash ends up picking up the kill. So all said and done, that is a 2 for 4 plus Adakan. It's more advantages going the way. I don't think the gold swing was that massive, but that Adakan is a big objective for the side of DTF, and it's going to make this game even more harder for them to come back there. But I gotta say, you know, that those sort of mistakes, you know, they can happen, the throws can happen. We saw the Sona was completely split from the Sivir, and she's not that threatening on her own, most certainly. So they saw the angle. I do applaud Destiny 2's effort there, but still, once that Renekton showed up, there's not too much you can do to outplay that champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, even with picking up that shutdown, it doesn't mean too much for Destiny 2. Unfortunately, I would have liked to seen like them just flip the Adakan instead of the fight, but you know what? You know, they do end up getting a shutdown anyway, so they got something out of it, and they didn't go out empty-handed. So
I think Toy's
not the
cooking
worst.
something with this Rylai's purchase. I don't think I've ever seen a Azir buy a Rylai scepter. So
yeah, I'm not too sure either. I mean, maybe Blade has some Azir tech.
No. I do. I've seen Azir's buy it, but like this wouldn't be the game to do it, especially when you're behind here. Like the stats provided, like sure you're a little bit stickier, but you're into like a Sona Sivir anyway. Like you probably want to be playing around those burst angles, or you're just going to be smacking a Renekton who probably doesn't care too much about your slow. He's just going to lock down the first person in front of him. It's not probably the item I'd buy here. I think you're in a situation where you do need to push for as much damage as you can to be even a threat towards this Wukong or Renekton. But yeah, certainly, I guess if he's caught out of position, you can buy the slows like this quite frequently. It does make their life a little bit harder, but I think when, you know, the rest of DTF are just probably going to be the ones running at you, you're not going to be chasing them down with this Rylai. It's going to be difficult to play out, and yeah, they just walk in here, sweep away the vision, throw the bubbles, and looks like this dragon is just there for the taking. Destiny 2 not interested in the fight whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Destiny 2, the draft is a bit... here we go.
Yeah, we are dropping the flash here to see if we can pick up Jay. He does drop flash in return, but he's going absolutely nowhere with Wukong hot on his tails with the speed of Sona and Sivir backing him up. But yeah, I think if they weren't able to do that at the play, they could have a positive play, picking up the second tier tower. There's a decent amount of money going over the Jax. If he's able to escape, that would be fantastic. But unfortunately, gets clipped off by that trouble bubble and is going to be picked up there from the side of Button Ash, who's picking up quite a bit of gold on this Wukong. We haven't talked about how strong the Wukong is, but he's about 2.5 items now as well. And it's just so difficult to nail down with that mobility in the champion. Getting those Sundered Skies procs, healing a bunch, walking towards his Sona, getting the speed and the health. Yeah, this Wukong is just so hard to take down. The frontliners or the side of DTF aren't really, you know, tanks, but just with how far they are ahead, these bruises are just so hard to kill for the side of Destiny 2, and they don't have really great tank killers right now. You know, they're trying to ult, hopefully you can focus fire someone down, but you know, you can only try and ult one of these guys. The other guy is going to be absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with Destiny 2 in these next 5 minutes, but I assume that DTF is going to send it on the Baron and hopefully close out the game, because unfortunately for Destiny 2, it's kind of rough at the moment. So
yeah, just really looking for them to throw. I would say, like, I'm surprised this gold gap has closed a little bit with them obtaining that bounty. Those plays are the sort of ones you want to be doing, is just like pray you're able to get Jax to knock over a second tier tower, pick up a tower gold bounty to swing back the lead a little bit. But even then, we've talked about the composition. That stuff isn't really fixing itself. The lead is still pretty significant. So you're able to close the gold gap by 1k and 2k, but you've still got another 4k to work through here. And the scaling of this champion like Sona is just going to be so difficult for the rest of the squad to, you know, get any value in these fights. I can't imagine trying to pilot a Trundle or a Jax in this game and have a significant impact.
God. Jax having to TP bot, getting a little bit overextended, completely alone. I really want to see Destiny 2 make a side lane play. Kind of not really seeing that at the moment. They're still kind of grouping as the Sherman looks like he's going to.
Yeah, seeing a play here. C4J with the backup of Chanel is actually quite strong against this 2v2 in particular. He's trying his best to run him down, but the pillar only comes up so often. But Ardmona now trying to drop his ult, but gets picked up by the Wukong. He's now got to be running for the hills. Strider coming in with the flank, which is just going to spell doom for this roster. And C4J is not long for this world. Monkey D. Heidi now is the lone man left on the front lines with Azir TPing in, but I don't think they should be playing for this fight at all. So he comes in, drops the ult cosmetically, and now he's just running for the hills. He is just going to be taken down by this pair. Yeah, no, he tried to participate, but the play was said and done, and now they're angling for potentially even ending this game with 20 seconds. I don't think they're going to be able to do it, but certainly an inhib at the very minimum.
yeah, I mean,
I was going to say that like a 4k gold lead isn't like insurmountable, but I think the play would have been to make a play through the side lane instead of grouping up and trying to go for the fight. As we're seeing,
Yeah,
like the man advantage just working its way through the base. Super
The
J's
main
alive
advantage
now,
there.
but-
They weren't able to clear that wave. It wasn't a big one, but now they've just dealt all the damage they needed to the turrets. They just focus fire down the Nexus, and that is going to be game one, going over to the side of DTF pretty convincingly from the start of the game. They look like they're in the driver's seat. A little slip up here and there, but certainly nothing to give away that lead, and they take it all the way home.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. A lot of coin flipping, to be honest. But you know what? Hopefully, game 2, Destiny 2 decides to calm down a little bit and play a lot more organized. So, I mean, going
Yeah,
on
I
to
mean,
SVP MVP.
Well, I just want to quickly say that the early game for jungle is extremely important, and when you spend a lot of it just like hoping that these ganks work in the bot lane, in the top lane, I mean, you end up wasting a lot of time. And I mean, getting a flash on the Sona is good, but then when your Zeri misplays the fight afterwards, it feels really, really bad having to waste all that time as a jungler, especially and then immediately following that with the top lane player. So yeah, I'd really like to see Destiny 2 calm down and take it a little bit more methodical. Maybe put the responsibility more so on C4J rather than playing for his team, just play for himself a little bit more. But yeah, SVP MVP. I guess we'll start with SVP. Throw it over to you, Liam. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, for the side of Destiny 2, like looking at the candidates, like it's one of those games where they did kind of get stomped. You're searching for answers here, but when it came to I'd say saying the most relevant, Mona, like I don't know, they lost laning phase and they lost the tower in what I'd consider a slightly winning matchup. I'd say honestly, Soy on that Azir. I'd say he had the hardest lane. And the fact that he's come out with the most damage, he didn't really find any big plays. But I feel like the game was already running away from a bit. Azir's the sort of champion you'd expect to scale up. And he was playing like really far behind the curve on the scaling champion. He's ended up doing the most damage regardless. But yeah, certainly there's not too many people you can go towards without saying that. But I think C4J had a pretty rough game. Monkey D Heidi also just had a pretty insurmountable lead. Chanel didn't really stand out, so I reckon it's either over towards Mona or Soy. And just given that, I'd consider that a pretty even lane. They ended up losing tower, losing a lot of plates. Soy was like the only one who held down laning phase as much as he should have. And yeah, I'd probably be giving it towards him or angling towards that. What are your thoughts, Braden?
Sorry, did you say me or Ryan?
Braden.
Braden.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Yeah, I mean when you look at what happened in the game, you kind of have to rule out, like jungle top. I mean, yeah, Chanel, like she played okay, but yeah, like you said, she didn't stand out, unfortunately. So yeah, it comes down to Ardmona or Soy. It's kind of hard. I mean, I didn't really see Soy do too many big Zia ults. I guess it is hard to throw a nice Zia ult into that comp, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. Maybe I'll handball it to Ryan and he can decide. So
All right, odd mode against SVP there.
okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's. I think the itemization on the side of Soy kind of puts him
Holding
down.
a grudge of that.
It takes him a peg down from Ardmona. So I'm giving it to Ardmona, but let's talk about MVP. Uh, oh, I'll kick it off to Blade Xer again, just to start it off.
Oh, lucky me. I think this is, when one team gets stumped pretty hard, you can look at the other roster and say everyone performed their job pretty spectacularly. But I'd say the team that sort of had the catalyst towards that was either Button Ash or even Strider, who had a really good game when his Renekton, which is a good change to see because he's usually been pretty passive in this game. I'd say he's pretty instrumental in turning around a lot of those early game fights. Certainly, Button Ash had a few slip ups where he missed position, though. He was a bit too aggressive on that Wukong. Did cost him that one death, or he was ulting before these fights. But Strider was a consistent member in a lot of those early skirmishes. He's participated in 17 out of those 20 kills as a top laner. That's not easy to do. I'm sure other top laners can factor in. Sometimes you feel like on a bit of an island, but Strider was there. Oh wait, I'm looking at the scores, but yeah, he is 13 out of the 20 kills. My bad. But yeah, he was in a lot of those important early skirmishes to get them that lead. I think once that lead was secured, the game sort of drove itself. And certainly those were some of the more impactful plays earlier on into the game. But Grib just had a brilliant laning phase. He was able to knock over that tower really early on in that somewhat even team fight. But I'd say, you know, he's playing really aggressive. He got a lot of damage out, but he also like copped the most deaths in the team as the Cipher in that comp. So, you know, I'd say he made some oversteps too. Same with Asian Bus Driver. He had a fine game, but a couple of oversteps cost him. But yeah, Strider was a consistent factor that game. I'd say this is one of the opportunities where I'd be looking to give it to him because, yeah, he hasn't had an opportunity up to this point. I don't know how you guys feel about the game. Let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards Strider or personally Asian Bus Driver. Like just him throwing the bubbles, like basically started a few of the fights in the game. But overall performance, yeah, I do think Strider. It is Strider just because there was where a few fights where it was a bit how you going, but he ended up coming in and basically saving the play, securing the win in a lot of fights. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of happy with Strider as well. I mean, you know, James obviously pumped out the damage, but like you said, he did overstep and why he died 3 times. But yeah, I mean, I think it might be Strider. What do you reckon, Ryan?
Yeah, I'd like to give it to Asian Bus Driver as well for those bubbles. His stats aren't doing him any favors, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm happy to give it Strider here as well. He respected the enemy top laner when he needed to. I mean, C4J was pathing like maniac, and if Strider was to have played a little bit more aggressive in his laning phase, he would have been punished very harshly by the C4J's Trundle. But yeah, I'm happy to give it Strider as well as we get ready for the next game. We will be right back and see you guys shortly. See ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back getting ready for the second champ select of the night here between DTF and Destiny 2. I believe Destiny 2 have picked that red side again, so they are playing more for that counter pick. So still blue side for the side of DTF. I wonder if that's when they're going to bust out their other first picks, because one thing we haven't touched on is that fearless aspect of the draft here. Being able to say that, Strider's Renekton's off the table is certainly going to be big for the rest of the series. So they're able to pick up game one, but, fearless is that marathon. You got to really reach deep into those pockets. And they're probably going to still aim to ban out those like quintessential tanks and that Zaya away from Charadis. We'll see what else they can play here. But with some of those key picks away from both sides, Wukong, Lulu, Renekton, I'm wondering to see how this Game 2 draft is going to go, and if things get a bit spicy now that with Byron back onto the roster of Destiny 2, we might see some assassins go out in the mid lane and see if that spices up the game here. So yeah, interested to see where we're going to do. Do you think their strategy is going to change in the draft here, Braden? You still think they're going to play towards that, our first pick, or are they going to do more like curveballs and try to take away more of C4J's champions?
Honestly, I'm not too sure, but I think if you're Nash right now, I think you're loving a tank champ at the moment, as Trundle is basically banned away. So I'm not sure if Nash will get away with one of his tanks, but if he does get one of them, he's definitely first picking it. In terms of Yunara, yeah, I mean, I think James does love the Yunara, so we might get to see it first picked here. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, they banned Zaya last time. I wonder if they're going to stick with it. It looks like it. Yunara up, blue side. I'd expect it to be first picked. Wukong gone. There's no really prior picks other than that I can think of. And yeah, Yunara being hovered.
That's right. Yumi and Yeso are up. I think they should have played towards it. But I'm pretty sure now it's being hovered. It's going to be picked away. And we got to see what they have, because this is probably something that's pretty obvious, I'd say, if you're watching pro play or how they played out the last series they had, that this is something they play towards. So does Ardmona have something in the pockets along with Chanel to deal with this champion? But I think at the pro level there is no solid answer to it this far. We'll see if they've cooked anything up, because they've got to have seen this coming. Armor gets picked away here. Potentially a flex around the roster, but most likely going towards that Chanel in the bot lane. And they might just look to pick up their bot lane again here for the side of Destiny 2. We'll see if the ADC gets locked away for Ardmona and what he's going to go with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Yunara got through. Like, normally it is pick or ban, in my opinion. I don't know about yous, but yeah, that champ is absolutely disgusting at the moment. But, I think if you're James, you are very happy, but you are versing a poke lane. So I'm not too sure how that goes into Yunara, but I'm pretty sure Yunara is not happy against a poke lane. I mean, you guys know how that lane goes, or no?
I would say like her basic attacks, more one of the higher range ADCs in the game, so I think she's still able to farm out, but yeah, certainly won't be able to play for many advantages into that range. Milio at her side is going to enable her a little bit more to have a bit agency, but yeah, they should have that priority. They should be trying to poke her out of the lane. But Yunara is all about that all-in threat. I think once she gets that one item spike, Varus and Karma are probably used to bullying her out, walking forward, throwing skill shots, but once she gets that item online, she can really force all-in, similar to that Zeri ult, where she just drops it on your head and then she really just starts W-keying you down. Not many ADCs can deal with that. Varus certainly. If he doesn't land a good ultimate, it could be in the firing line, but looks like they are going to pick up a few other champions here. Ornn for the side of Strider is just going to be picked up there, and Hui going to be picked up for the side of Byron. So I'm not sure if Byron's been practicing this one, ready for this competition, but yeah, he's going to be picking up a control mage here for the side, and that's more poke onto the side of this composition. So if I'm DTF right now, I'm probably looking at my engaged options before they get locked away, because it looks like they're looking to keep them at arm's distance here with this poke composition.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, even if you play poke, there is an Ornn champ that just drops a ult on top of your head, and there's nothing you can do about it. So
I wouldn't say that. There's some champions up. We'll see if the cannons get banned away, but yeah, we'll see if they go towards any of that. But yeah, it's going to be difficult with the champions that have locked in right away here, I'd say.
I mean, the
There are lots of
champions-
answers in like the mid lane and the support, but yeah, right now, trying to pick one of those champions in jungle
Yeah,
would be a bit difficult.
I'm not too sure what C4J is going to play here. Do you have any ideas, Ryan?
I'm racking my brain right now. I have no idea what he's gonna pull out. I'm a bit
Oh.
scared. Like,
Warrior
Lily, it doesn't
spirit
really
is
fit this
never
comp at all.
broken.
So, Nautilus, I think, would go pretty well here, but I don't know if he's played it at all. Like a
Plays
tankier
fine,
jungler, but I mean,
He
with
plays
a
fine,
poke
I'm not too
comp,
sure.
there aren't really that many good poke options in the
Yeah.
jungle right now. So, very curious to see what he pulls out as Vi.
It is the Vi.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
works.
personally, here we go. Wait,
It's a Byron's
Yasuo?
Yasuo.
Oh, it's like so. I did talk about the champions. I thought it'd be pretty hard to fit into this composition, but that is a way to stop the Ornn ult from being a factor. But yeah, like that means we're putting the Yasuo now into the Ornn. I don't think any of these champions can pivot into jungle really. So yeah, it's just gonna be a solo lane Yasuo and Hui. Depending where they go to be decided, I suppose, on the mid lane matchup. But yeah, I guess you could put a Hui into Ornn and it's not going to be the end of the world. You're just going to farm out that lane. Aurora being locked away for the side of DTF. They're probably going towards Asian bus driver with that Ornn locked away.
What if he flexes
guess
the
a
Ornn
bit.
into the jungle though?
Yeah, Ornn into jungle is still a possibility, but I don't
the
see it that.
flex. Volibear Ornn.
Yeah.
Don't really know about the Volibear pick here, if I'm going to be honest, into poke.
Yeah, like you'd be wanting to play for engage. I do like the Aurora, but Volibear doesn't really suit. He is particularly hard to stop, I guess. He's quite tanky, but
Oh, the Olaf. Okay.
Trying to run in. Doesn't really have anyone to help him run in, but if he does find that angle and get onto these champions like Hui and Varus and Karma, it's not like they're running away from you very quickly, so could see the angle there.
It is definitely better than Volibear, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think it is a bit more harder to pilot into that comp, but you know what? If you can do it, like if you can get away with it and get in there, like fair enough.
Oh man, so we do end up going to the Vi, and we do have a Yasuo. There's a little bit of combo synergy there for picking up the one target, but you're looking at the enemy comp. You've got a Ornn and an Olaf. Those two are just the complete opposite of champions you want to be picking the Vi Yasuo into. So yeah, it's been a spicy draft certainly with the addition of Byron onto the roster here, but I don't think it's really worked out into their favor. They've got some interesting champions there, but no one can really frontline for this team. I think if it just becomes a stat check fight, like DTF should just completely roll them over. So I'm really hoping to see them come online in this laning phase and realize, we've got to play for advantages early this game. We're not going to play that same style where we're just scaling. Certainly, I think they've got to make some plays and they've got to make things happen early to be able to give themselves a good shot. And even then, do not throw over your shutdowns, otherwise this game could turn on its head. Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear draft win for the side of DTF, which is gonna make this game very difficult for Destiny 2. How do you guys feel about it now that all drafts are all said and done?
You can go first, Ryan.
Is Yasuo playable at all into Ornn mid to late game? I don't know how that goes. I'm pretty sure it isn't, right? I don't-
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure about the Yasuo pick, if I'm going to be honest. I think, like,
We saw it
even the
before.
Vi,
it
like,
was pretty bad.
yeah, like,
So-
I just hope I don't see C4J fly across the screen, ult someone, baits his Yasuo to ult, and then his poke team,
Just
the
gets
rest of
run
his
down.
team, aren't there to follow up on it.
Alright.
So hopefully C4J plays, knows his limits in terms of where his team is at, so they can follow up on his engage. Other than that, I think it is very hard for them to play. Yeah, I'm not too
This
sure
is-
how it goes, but you know what?
It's like
We'll see.
super explosive game ahead of us. I'm not sure. It could either go like one team gets ahead and stays ahead, or it could be those shutdowns flying left, right, and center. So I really hope to see the latter, but if the first game is anything to go off of, I'm afraid it's going to be one team getting ahead and like holding that lead. But Yeah, I'm not too keen on seeing the Yasuo in this game. Strider is very respectable in the lane phase. I don't think it scales very well into the Ornn. I mean, it just looks like DTF is a clear winner this game. What are your thoughts on who you think is going to win this one, Braden?
Oh yeah, I mean, we just talk about draft, and and we just seen first game, and the nameplates, so I think it is towards DTF, at the moment, but you know what? I could see maybe Olaf overextending, just dropping the ult and just running in, by himself, and maybe he just gets uh every ability dropped on him and he dies straight away. But you know what? It's hard to be honest. If you're DTF at the moment to lose this game, so
Keytrade
yeah,
says if Yasuo wins, you do a room reveal.
like I said, my light is not
Your light's
working
not
at the
working.
moment,
Oh, we just need the
so
flashbang.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Use the-
flashbang his camera real quick, guys.
get the torch out, and we'll go. Like, need to
Oh
buy
my goodness.
the room. See
Keen
what goodies we've got.
is not too impressed with the drafts, stating it's the worst drafts he's ever seen.
wait, who said that?
Lots of memes in the YouTube chat about you being in the Shadow Realm. Uh,
I mean, hey, I'm not. It's the truth right now, I guess. Like
it's the
that's what everyone's
truth.
seeing, so that's where I am at the moment. So
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. But yeah, we're getting underway for game number 2 of this best of 3. Sejuani flashbang. Um, but yeah, time will tell how this game plays out. Hopefully we get a banger, and hopefully it's not one-sided like it has been these past few times. But yeah, what
Interesting
are we
tidbit
thinking
is
about?
that
Like the tidbit? Yep.
yeah, Byron has swapped into that top lane, so he's like, oh, this is not an assassin game. This is actually a Patterson Yasuo top lane game. So he's going to take that lane away, and I guess it was Monkey D Heidi calling from it, who picked way pretty early on. So this was probably something they're looking to do. I did see Monkey D Heidi was practicing that jam a lot in his history, so maybe this is something they were looking to pull out as their Joker wildcard play. And we'll see how it pays off for them. He's got his work cut out for him, and even if you put 1,000 hours onto this way with this sort of draft, you've got a lot of heavy lifting to do, most certainly. And you can't really afford to miss position versus these champions is that way. Or this Varus, or this Karma. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Everyone on the side of Destiny have a really tough game ahead of them to just make sure they're playing their limits really well and getting value. And yeah, right now we've got a lot of time to think about it with the pause coming out.
Is there a pause? Mine's just going.
Yeah, mine
What
is.
time are you at?
I'm trying to sync
47,
mine up at
8,
the moment.
9.
Yeah, 48, 49.
Am I ahead? I think.
Must
Yeah,
be
you might
ahead.
be. I was ahead. Yeah, I had to just dial it back a bit. I think I'm in sync now.
You guys read out me your clock so I can sync up. Oh, nothing's happening.
Go on, Ryan.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, yep. I got the pause now.
Wait,
I think
The
I'm a
first pause?
second behind. Wait, there's a second one?
yeah, I think there's only that lag. Are we all stuck on 119 or it's just unpaused from my end?
122, 124, 125, 126.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I think we're pretty in sync now. So yeah, that was interesting. Start to the game there. The client does love to just panic attack when the pause does happen. But yeah, we'll see how things go. All in all, I think we were saying the matchup top was going to be pretty hard, but I think honestly, it's like Strider doesn't play a very aggressive Ornn. I'm not looking. Don't think he's going to blow the Yasuo out of the water unless he's just really trying to skill check himself. But yeah, like he doesn't have to do anything fancy in this matchup. It's going to get towards these skirmishes where you're playing that Ornn, Olaf, Aurora combo into these top lane grub fights, and it's just like you really got to be intelligent from the side of Destiny 2.
You know what, we didn't talk about the mid matchup. Who is meant to win? into Hui Aurora?
It's definitely Hui favored, at least into the 1v1, but Aurora's always got that X factor where she's able to wave clear really well, so she's able to generally farm in a lot of the difficult matchups, and she, you know, the more aggressive you play into her, the more at risk of you are just getting an ult dropped on your head and the jungler rocking up into your lane there, so it's hard to play for advantages and still play a very safe game as the Hui is, so I generally consider the matchup pretty even, as long as the junglers are existing in the game. But if, you know, Hui spots the jungler elsewhere on the map, he can play for some big trades and big outplays, I suppose. And if you're playing a bit reckless like this, Asian bus driver, just walking up to the lane, you are going to get poked out a little bit. So I'd say it's slightly Hui favored, but Aurora always does just have that better team play and that engage for the team that is just going to bring so much value. Even if she falls a little bit down in lane, she's still got a very good role in the game. So Hui is always got to land his skill shots to find any sort of value and position well. I'd say, yeah, it's a small lane advantage for the side of Hui, but nothing astronomical to really turn this game on its head. Seeing really aggressive trades coming out in the spot lane between Charidus and Akrima Senpai walking up on this poke combo. So, you know, they've got a lot of poke in their favor, but it seems like they're just really just eating the skills and just stat checking them with the shields, making sure to get some auto Qs off on Yunara, trade the damage back really well. And what I'd consider to be pretty difficult for them, they're actually handling themselves really well in this lane. Just goes to show. Yeah, or here comes the jungler, so no ult even skilled yet, but that's going to be a death for the side of Monkey D. Hardy unless Jay has something to say about it. He does cop the axe and he's going to try to live it out with the shield, but unfortunately the C4J doesn't have much in the way of helping for his mid laner there. He is going to queue out with the Vault Breaker, but that is already, you know, what we were talking about. If you play a little bit too far forward as the play, you do open yourself up to the other champions of the game. And C4J does flash forward, but Nash has that shield. He does have the second E, thankfully, to get that kill, and that's going to be a nice kill back going towards C4J. But it was on a nice edge there. I think if Nash was a bit more aware, it quickly turned around, got the damage down. It was even possible to turn that one, but yeah, luckily he does get that kill.
Erlaf was going to use E there and kill the Vi, but unfortunately not able to get that ability off. You see a top lane brawl. Byron Bernstein.
Yeah, he has flash. If he drops the flash over this, no, he doesn't. I would say there's a good potential to get a kill there if he flashes this skill shot. His cooldowns would come back up. That's probably a kill angle there for Strider, but decides to play it a bit safer. And you know, you look at the CS numbers. Aside from that very scary moment, Byron's in a pretty good state for himself. And speaking of a good state, Charidus is really laying down the damage onto Ardmona here. They trade some back, but the health bars are certainly favoring the side of DTF in this bot lane. And yeah, this is, you know, a pre-like Kraken player where I think she really just comes online and becomes unbearable in these trades. But yeah, they're doing pretty good for themselves. Byron is stacking up this lethal tempo. Strider now in a pretty bad state. He's got to be looking to get out without losing his life here. He does find a lot of damage, but he is going to be able to walk out. Yeah, Byron probably looking for a flash angle. Doesn't quite have it. But no jungle on the top side to really dive him. I don't think he has enough of an advantage to dive Strider here. I think we'll have to see. Hopefully the camera pans towards it. No, he's just going to look for a proxy, but we're left waiting in the wings, pathing towards top. Yeah, I think Byron needs to be careful about potentially getting ganked here.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a little bit dicey for Byron here. Ooh,
Oh,
does
he's-
the cheeky mechanics to get over the wall. Nicely done.
Yeah, he has a wind wall up to dodge out in this first
Oh,
queue,
no.
but now the Ornn ult is coming out on the wind side, but looks like he just flashes it on the minimap. The camera's not doing me
He
any
did
favors, but
flash.
yeah.
So we need to watch this bot lane do nothing instead. Direct to K.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah. Charidus is really looking for an angle here. He does see the angle onto Ardmona. The get barrier and the flash is burnt, and he's looking to find more of kills,
Jay's
but
in the area.
unfortunately they are going to get out of dodge there, but the wave is just in a great position for them. So it's still a pretty positive trade. Going up those summers as well is just already such a good sign. You know, are looking really strong in the hands of Charidus
Why
this
is
game.
the bot here right now? Might see again.
Yeah, Vi does have level 6 as well already. He's actually farming well this game. He is C4J and he's hit his timers pretty accurately here, but I think they know about it. They are showing respect to that possibility, but it might be Dragon going over to the side of the C4J. And Byron is being a bit of a pest. Like I said, I don't think the laning phase is that bad, especially if the Ornn's going to play it a bit passive here, and he's picking up a pretty chunky CS lead already at the top lane. So Yasuo pick not looking completely doomed just yet, but it's
Yasuo
not
pick's
really.
doing a lot of work, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I did not expect there to be such a huge CS discrepancy in this top lane. See,
Yeah.
nothing really happening
Honestly,
around the map.
I was expecting the laning phase of the Yasuo to be the easier component. I do worry what he's going to do in these team fights, if it's just going to be the C4J Byron show where they find an ult onto an Aurora and then they get picked up by the entire rest of the team collapsing on their heads. It's just, this fight is going to be so difficult for them to play out. We'll see if they can do it, but yeah, so far they've picked up first dragon. It's not looked absolutely disastrous this game for the side of Destiny 2 at all. No big advantages either side, but yeah,
both both ADCs.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think Kraken received the interaction nerf on Yunara where it doesn't really stack Kraken as fast as it did before. But I don't know if I'd be angling towards Bork into this particular team. There's not really a lot of health stackers. I don't know. What do you all read on that item or that build? You play a bit of one-hit junglers yourself with the ADCs in the jungle there, Brayden. I'm not sure if you.
Unfortunately, I haven't experimented with Yunara yet. I'm not too sure if she's on my list, but I mean, here we go. We got a team fight going on now.
Yeah, Strider does go in really far ahead, and he has no ult. He is going to have to flash right out, and they're going to drop the combo onto Strider. Really look to pick him up, but they're in a bit of a difficult scenario. But Nash is going to run in, but there's no one there to support you as he face checks that. In the bot lane, Ardmona finds himself in a bad situation. The flash advantage over Charitas is going to allow him to drop so much damage onto Ardmona. One more auto attack is going to do it, and the Bilio should be able to get him out of harm's way. They do drop heal, ult, and barrier to walk him out of that one, but that is a kill nonetheless in the side of Yunara's pocket.
Very explosive game we've got on our hands here.
Unfortunately, yeah, looked like Nash got a bit mind controlled there.
he had Ghost, but you're running into 4 people. I don't think that was the play at all.
I think he saw that game where Really and Polio was playing Olaf and he thought he was him, but unfortunately not quite the same scenario.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, a Legion bus driver is finding some nice chunks out onto Monkey D Heidi. And that is going to set them up well for some tempo into the map, but there's really no objectives to play for at the moment. But yeah, small victory in the way of Charybdis picking up that kill bot lane and picking up another lead. He is doing pretty good, but yeah, Chanel is in a worrying scenario here. He does put down to these skill shots that could have been a bit more disastrous for him, but looks like the rest of the team is coming along. But Nash hasn't got his axe up, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think that is another angle where they can maybe look to burn Chanel's flash, but yeah, Chanel's really playing on a razor edge the way he's on this karma right now. Hopefully it continues to work out for him, but yeah, playing a dangerous game. If he cops one of these slows from an Olaf Q, he could be getting run down very momentarily, but yeah, this Yunara lane is looking pretty strong. He hasn't finished that Bork yet, but he has just got the wave in a fantastic position. Got that kill on Ardmona, has a big XP lead as a result. Looking pretty good. Charybdis is looking in a good position to run away with this game despite being a little bit down as a team gold. This Yunara is certainly going to be a big threat, and they've got a combo to deal with it, a Yasuo and a Vi, but I'm not too sure if they have the luxury of just going for the Yunara and ignoring the other members of the team. Looks like we've got a 3v3 here. The Vi is here with a nice flash Q. Is going to do a lot of damage, but unfortunately doesn't find the ult onto him. C4J looking to find that ult, but unfortunately there's no one there to really do anything about. CC immune is the Olaf, and he's just going to absolutely ignore that ultimate there, and the rest of DTF are going to come in. They still had the melee ult to play around, but unfortunately drops that axe and is going to give over 1 in return. Not what you want to see, and oh my god, I've never even seen that interaction. Yeah, more action mid where there's a little bit of skill expression. Maybe it was intentional. Asian bus driver dodging out onto the CC using Aurora's ult. I've never even seen that before, but apparently that's a mechanic.
Unstoppable in his ult? Is that right?
Yeah, apparently so, because didn't get pulled back by the knock-up at all. But Byron does TP bot here, looking to get some pressure down onto Charybdis. He does drop the ult, but he gets knocked away by the melee. He doesn't quite have the range. That is going to be a flash there, and Charybdis really playing on the knife's edge. Trying to bait in the Yasuo potentially for a dive outplay, but nope, doesn't find the kill there. That's going to be another flash, and nothing to gain for it for the side of Destiny 2. And Yunara is going to be resetting with 1,500 gold in her pocket. That's going to be a Bork and Berserker's Greaves, and this champion is going to be very hard to deal with now with the lead that he's built.
Interesting lane swap going on here. Rift Herald fairly far away. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. I'm not sure what the idea is here. Sending the Varus top.
Yeah, maybe they're hoping because Yasuo's got a decent lead himself. He can deal with this Yunara in the 1v2, like with the wind wall. Still think, you know, it's going to be a rough lane for him, but maybe the Varus and the Karma can do something. But I get proven wrong as they hit the recall. They send the Varus and the Karma towards this objective now. Strider does have teleport, so he could join, and we might have a fight on our hands because I don't think DTF will be wanting to give this one over. But really right now, tempo completely on the side of Destiny 2.
As they're moving towards it, it looks like they tried, but it's already gone. Yes, it's already taken it.
Too little,
back
too
into
late.
his lane. Charybdis fencing his chances, even though they just took the dragon. Not sure this is great, but Yasuo having to run all the way top.
Yeah, I mean, Yasuo is matching that ore now, but both junglers are hovering bot lane. I'm not too sure if they're looking for a fight, though.
Yeah, they're hovering. I think, you know, Destiny 2 do realize that this Yunara is a problem. They got to do something to deal with it. There is an ult drop from mid lane, but to scratch that as they throw some ults the way of Charybdis in the bot lane. But Olaf is here to assist with this play. But Nash has arrived on the wings, but Admon is dropping so much damage down onto Charybdis. He does find that kill. Does the fadeaway flash tag. I'm not even sure if it's needed at all, but they do find the kill there. Charybdis really trying to push his leads. Speaking of pushing his leads, Byron's going to pick up another plate in this matchup here. So yeah, the laning phase for Yasuo has gone pretty fantastic. Looking at the CS numbers, plate, he's proxying, he's having a really good game. But I wonder if Olaf's going to be able to match all the value that Yasuo brings in the team fight by just pressing his R button on these carries.
Yeah, I mean, talking about good games, C4J looks like he's, you know, turned it a complete 180 from last game. He's gotten all 3 grubs, 2 drags, and is deathless at the moment with 5 KP, so...
Oh my god, Strider got it, by the way.
Plus 80, yeah, for that one. He actually just got it with a tick of the W. There's a small victory there for the Strider to get some gold back in his pocket. But yeah, that is certainly good to see out of the C4J having a much more stable game, consistently farming a lot better. And Nash hasn't been having an awful game at all in the Olaf either, but Jay's just performing slightly better, and that's allowing them to have this lead.
Speaking stable games,
gold.
Vi has 1600 gold, and he's opting to challenge this Scuttle Crab. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna go well for them.
Priority, but yeah, I don't know. Asian Bus Driver is rotating here first. I don't know if they have the damage just between them, but there's more action going on. Bot lane directed camera wants us to have a look at what's going on here, but doesn't find the kill there. Byron running for the hills away from this Olaf because there's not much opportunity. He does find the ult onto Strider, but this is what we're talking about. There's just not much value to be had compared to there. The Ornn is just going to bring so much CC and damage. You know, down 1.5k or not, he's still going to be so valuable. And the Olaf is just going to run at that Yasuo and stat check him completely.
Red side has a gold lead, but they have their gold in the bank. They didn't spend any of it on the Yasuo or the Vi, so they're like insanely more weak than the opposing team. As we see a huge fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, he's going to look for the dive onto Ardmona, and he does find the kill, but he doesn't find the second one, unfortunately. Really looking to push his limits there, but only goes for the 1-for-1. Now, another fight over this Rift Herald. He does find the steal, but the ult goes wide on the way. That's going to be absolutely disastrous. Does C4J and Monkey D Hardy have the damage? Yes, they do. And they look to turn it around. Asian Bus Driver now running for the hills. Has the flash available, but is in a very bad spot. He does flash forward, trying to find the kill, but he doesn't have the damage with the auto attack. He's just going to drop down now. And that is going to be a 3-for-0 and Herald secured for the side of Destiny 2.
I'm not too sure what Asian Bus Driver was trying to achieve with that flash auto. I was expecting like
trying to go for the
ability
shutdown is not bad, right?
Yeah, but when you have no ability, I'm assuming he has no abilities up because all he did was throw an auto. I expect you to just, I mean, it will, yeah, like, if he threw an ability, you know, it's commendable, but unfortunately, I don't think an auto would have killed there, but, I mean, look, if you're, at the moment, you know, if you're Destiny 2, you are happy, you know, playing this comp ahead, especially with Wei. Oh, but looks like Byron Bernstein is getting...
He's absolutely harassing this Olaf in the jungle, but he's got to find a good wind wall angle to be able to survive here. He does exactly that as Button really pushes for that kill, but the rest of the Destiny 2 squad right behind him are going to pick him up. C4J now is looking to get out of harm's way, but yeah, I don't think they're going to have much to do without their top laner and their jungler. It's just an Aurora ult to play around, but all the members of the side of Destiny 2 are going to keep each other safe. And, you know, this dragon looks like they're angling for it, but it's not quite respawned yet, so I think they got to wait that one out. Strider getting a bit of alone time with his tower might mean he can take that one down and get some gold in the pocket, but yeah, it's another kill going over, and Byron was just eating all of poor Buttonash's cams. I don't think that's very common for you to deal with as a jungler, with the top laner just randomly taking all your cams, but he is pretty far ahead on this Yasuo.
Monkey hiding in a bad position.
Yeah,
half HP.
in a bad position, but it's all obeyed. The cavalry is here. C4J, unfortunately, though, isn't going for an ult. They're really playing their time out for this one, but he doesn't find the ult. Finally, an ult lands here, and they're looking onto Akuma's Empire on this Milio to take down the stat bot of that Milio, and they find Charybdis right after. They're looking to turn it around with Asian Bus Driver, but unfortunately, he doesn't find the interaction he wants. He goes through the realm between, and he gets picked up. Button now in a terrible position, and he's going to get picked up. Strider's just spectating his team and being like, what is going on the side of the map, as Byron ends up proxying him again. He's just had to deal with this. I think Strider needs to walk forward and, you know, match the proxy and get some tempo, because he's always a wave down on this this Yasuo. But looks like he's going to be giving up this wave here, hitting that recall button. Byron could be playing for that top side, but yeah, all of a sudden, drop be damned, this is
holy. Wait, he's going top now. Wow, what
all the way to the top.
Oh no. That was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that play, like Nash and Asian Bus Driver unable to recognize that, you know, their bot lane is dead. Instead of, you know, looking maybe a cross map play on the Byron Bernstein top, they decide to try and save the play, which ended up costing them the Drake and 4 kills. So yeah, it's not looking too good for DTF at the moment. They are dropping a lot of gold.
Yeah, it's a 7k gold lead, and they're going to get some of it back now with this bot tower. But yeah, normally a controlled team, a pretty calculated team, they played pretty well around the jungle there. They just had a complete misread on where C4J was. Byron is also bot lane, I mean, Monkey D. Heidi was also bot lane. They were just caught in a 4v2 to start that one off. And that's going to be really big repercussions. A 4-for-0 team fight plus the third dragon now puts you on a timer in this game. You're now 6k down, and you can't avoid this next dragon fight. You must fight it, because giving over soul is just going to be too much of a detriment to your team, even with the compositions. So yeah, they've got a lot of work cut out for them. They really need to play for a pick onto one of these shutdowns. If they're able to catch C4J overextending and pick up that cool 1k in their pocket, that could get them something here. But right now, they just got no control of the map. Atakan being started up and melted down, and then nowhere to be seen on the side of the map.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like they're positioning. They're going for it. They're completely unaware of this Atakan being taken, or they just do not want to commit to the wall. I mean, this game has been... The last game was C4J kind of coin flipping the game away, and now it's Charybdis' turn to coin flip this game away. I really want to see him just like calm down, just like we were asking from C4J, and just take it a little bit more methodical as we see Asian Bus Driver getting caught by an no follow-up at all by anybody on his team. C4J expecting the world from his team right there, but unfortunately not in position to follow up.
That's all chat, no follow-up GG moment right there from Vi. I don't know what they're going for, but yeah, that is not really going to cost them anything. Nothing to be done on the map, and yeah, they're just going to look to balance out this game, because I think all they need to play for is this next fight. But yeah, Chanel, you went the greedy way and might get punished. He does end up getting picked up. A nice cleanse from the Milio is going to save him there, and a nice burst combo from the Aurora is going to take him down. But Monkey D. Hardy looking to trade some damage back. He's going to do his absolute best, but is just this Yunara and Milio combo is still online despite everything all said and done. They're sitting on 2 items and is pretty threatening. Yasuo is having free time in the spot lane, but they are going to be trading quite evenly with that bounty objective. Monkey D. Heidi is looking to get some damage back, but isn't fancying his chances in the 1v4. C4J still waiting in the wings, has a 1k shutdown on his head, and he's scaring the lights out of me right now if he goes for a play and it goes 4. you know, it could be completely detrimental to the team. But looks like they're pulling the trigger here. Teleport being
Just
used in the mid lane
always
from
pop it
Byron. They're just looking to harass him on a Raptor camp, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what he was thinking with the TP there. Just, I guess, just threw a free summoner at them. Because why not? I guess he doesn't need it. Because he is just pretty much just side laning the whole game anyway, so he doesn't need
He's a
TP.
powerhouse this game, more than 10 CS per minute.
Yeah,
Kind of
Infinity
impressive.
Edge completed. Like, he is such a glass cannon in this composition, but if he's able to find some alone time with Charybdis, he can bet your ass he's gonna just absolutely destroy him with this Yasuo champion. If they're able to drop that combo, they could easily delete Charybdis, I think, with Yasuo being this far ahead. He has the flash up too to chase him down. It's going to be a very scary scenario if Hinara ever positions too far up. This combo is actually quite deadly when this Yasuo is this far ahead. So they've got something really powerful to play towards, and I haven't really seen the Hexplate technology on the Olaf yet. I can see it working, but yeah, it's an interesting one. The Olaf right now, you know, normally pretty tanky into this game. Right now, I wouldn't say he's quite tanky into that that way with the Hell Shred, the Varus, the Hell Shred. Byron's so far ahead on this Yasuo. Olaf normally is a champion you want to be running at people and stat checking, but right now it's a very hard game for him to do that. We see that Aurora damage just isn't threatening at all, and it's just so scary. He's going to go for the tower dive, knowing that the resources are down, and he's just going to absolutely one-shot him here. You really can't be affording to match that Yasuo with how far ahead he is with that Infinity Edge. And right now he's taking more second-tier turrets. He's going to get even further ahead. Oh my god, he went for the play, but he doesn't quite find it. And now they're looking to delve down, and they do find it.
Anyway.
From Monkey D, Heidi, and Ardmona take down Charybdis off the start of the fight, and the Kuma Senpai now picked up by Chanel. Double kill for the support. And
Yasuo
you know,
is
I
on
would
the
have thought,
top end here. Can they end here?
yeah.
20 seconds now.
Oh, does he cancel that? Oh, he does cancel him out as well. So now there's no one to defend the base. Asian bus driver's up in 8 seconds, but they could certainly deal a lot of damage to the base in the meantime. C4J is going to be completely harassing Strider here. Slowly but surely, he is going to drop. He is going to drop the flash to get out of here, but I feel like C4J is still going to be hot on his heels, trying to pick up that kill. Is dropping as much damage as he can before he goes down, but he's not long for this world. And that is another kill going over to C4J, looking to pick up an inhib. Oh, Byron just completely cleaned house on this base here, on this Yasuo. He's absolutely been terrorizing these turrets and structures around the map. And now C4J to collect his final drag, and he's been stacking them up so well for his team. And that is going to be the win condition secured in that Ocean Soul. But yeah, look, we said they needed to play for lane dominance, play for some early skirmishes, get really far ahead. I felt like they were just a bit chill, but you know, they completed some items and they really ran away with this game now. I think it's pretty insurmountable.
I don't even think it's that. I think Charybdis was just trying to make the hero plays in the bot lane instead of just scaling for free. Like, he could just play for his item spikes and play for the scaling, super strong scaling Renara champion. Instead, he was going for these early game plays. And obviously, I mean, they just did not work out as well as he would hope. And yeah, he didn't get as nearly as far ahead as this Yasuo with the 15k gold on it at 25 minutes. This game should be surely done.
Yeah, it's this Yasuo is so strong. Yeah, he's you know, he's supposed to be a glass cannon, but now he's completed the death stance. He's even far from that, being level 17, has the wind wall, has the death stance, has the shield from the shield bow. Like, he's gonna be so hard to take down. I just don't see how they have an answer to him now. Charybdis is doing his best, but there is the combo here. Yasuo not quite in range to find the ult. Oh, he does find the ult off the last frame of the knockup, it feels like, and that is just going to be him down. Yeah, that is probably going to be the game with triple inhibs, Baron minions, Ocean Soul secured. I think they're doing the victory lap here. Poor Botnas is just trying to clear what he can, but he's probably going to have to ult to try to just get out of dodge here if Byron lets him, but does get out with his life here, but the turrets are not long for this world. Asian bus driver doing all he can here, but he can't do much with the whole squad of Destiny 2 alive here. That is going to be the game going over to Destiny 2. Maybe they look to pick up a couple more kills before they're done with them. Yasuo finds hold onto the Nexus, and that is going to be a kill going over to Byron, but no. That's Destiny 2 picking up game 2 and the twist of fate. We were skeptics, to say the very least, at that champion stake, but
I'm speechless, to be honest.
That
you know,
was a game and a half, bro.
We flamed the draft, but I guess it works. I guess it works.
He needs a good he needs a good draft when you got comfort picks like Yasuo and Varus and the Hui. Monkey T. Heidi was quite
True.
impressively piloting that champ. I was quite surprised. I haven't actually seen him play the Hui quite just yet. Sifa J not going for those early coin flips, able to maintain a lead and run away with this game. I mean, it was really just DTF making a ton of macro mistakes, making plays on the top side of the map when Charybdis is your strongest member. Uh, Support not there for the roam, so there was just like a numbers disadvantage. Charybdis like playing solo queue, he's not playing with his team at all, and yeah, we should probably move into SVP MVP. I don't want to throw it over to Blade X though. So, I guess I'll start talking about the SVPs. Uh, it's really hard. I did see Milio. I feel like Milio was getting a lot of value out of the ultimate, cleansing a lot of these key abilities, the Hue, the Varus ultimate key, specifically. The rest of his team, Yanara just continuously like playing for herself, making these plays that don't really make sense in the macro sense. Like micro wise, I mean they look flashy, but you zoom out a bit and it's like, okay, you've just made a play on the 1v2 and now dragon spawning and like you've burnt all your resources and the enemy bot lane is like completely fine. It's not looking good. Aurora doing a lot of damage in this laning phase. Unfortunately, not able to find these key ultimates. That bot fight stood out to me a lot, where he touched the wall, went into 4 people, died instantly. It's just not finding the value where it's needed. Olaf running into 4 people with ult with Ghost, not using any of the. Ornn just completely got gapped in the top lane. The Yasuo was able to do whatever he wanted the entire game. I mean, I feel like Milio is like the only player on the team that kind of really earns the SVP rank. What do you guys think?
If I'm gonna be honest, like even though you say Charybdis didn't play a fine game, I think he actually played decent, like decently okay. He was pushing the lead like pretty early on. You know, like you said, he did make some hero plays, but I feel like if your team is burning on the top side of the map, you know, there's not much you can really do. So you have to try and trade, I guess, before the game just falls apart like it did. But you know, when you have a Vi on the enemy team that is fed, just pressing R on you, there's not much you can really do. When everyone else just throws their abilities on top of you. So honestly, it's quite a hard game for Charybdis, but I think he actually played decently okay. If I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, you're right. I think it's either Akuma or Charybdis IMO. Yeah, the others didn't really stand out to me too much. I mean, Milio was just doing her job, I guess, just shielding Charybdis, just cleansing whatever needed to be cleansed. And yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure. Handball this one to Blade once again.
I do think you guys are on the money if you're just looking at the bot lane here, but I think when it's prevalent here, Kuma Senpai isn't certainly playing a bad game, but I think when it comes to like the responsibility, the skill checks, the playmaking, tends to fall more in the bucket of Charybdis, and he did taketh away that game. I would say he was the most consistent factor. He was basically their only shot at winning with how he was fixing that, and you know he did throw a big lead there where he went for that 2v4 bot lane, but as Brendan states, when you feel like you're put into a pressure scenario where the rest of your team are losing, you got to make some advantages because you feel like you're falling behind the curve. I think he probably thought the gold lead was worse than it was, and he had to make a play before things are too late. But yeah, it ended up being a pretty bad fight. The game was kind of lost from there, but up until that point, he was playing really good. Had a great laning phase in a pretty difficult lane matchup, I'd say, playing into those poke champions. Yeah, I think, you know, you can look at that and say, you know, that was a really critical mistake, but up until that point, I was thinking he was playing pretty well, and there was a lot of other mistakes being made basically everywhere else on the map. So I think we are a bit harsh on him. I'd be leaning just ever so slightly towards him, mainly because he just seems to be the one taking that responsibility and that initiative in the game to try and get these players to get them back in. And sometimes it's gonna land well, sometimes it's gonna cost you, and it definitely cost them in this game. But that's more towards Destiny 2 playing really well. So I reckon SVP over to Charidus, and we can look towards MVP onto the side of Destiny 2. But I would be looking to give it over towards either C4J or Byron, despite the whole squad playing well. I think these are the star players this game. What do you think between those two candidates, Ryan?
I want. Depends. Are we gonna get the room reveal now that Yasuo's won? If we get the room reveal, I think he gets MVP.
No one. I did not agree to any of this, so it was and like I said, my light is broken at the moment, so
Go quickly fix it. Grab the
unfortunately,
tools out of the toolbox, bro.
uh,
you got a
unfortunately,
phone
I
and
am
turn the
off
torch on.
hours,
Off
so
hours, okay.
I am off hours. Not fixing any lights at
I
the moment.
I
So
would lean more towards Yasuo here, just because of like the insane the game was completely. Oh, I don't know. The game wasn't completely within his like control. It wasn't entirely him. It was C4J as well, holding it down, no deaths, being the rock the team needed when he needed to step up. He stepped up. So yeah, I would lean slightly towards C4J if I was being serious, but I really want to give it to Byron Bernstein. But yeah, leaning more towards C4J. What are your thoughts?
yeah, I mean, like I agree with Blade. It's either C4J or Byron. I think Byron played a very lovely game. He played the matchup really nicely prior all game, and was just a menace on the side. Just winning out those 1v1s and then just absolutely opening their whole base. C4J, stellar performance, deathless, 180 performance, compared to last game. I did see a bit of like I don't want to give it to C4J
The
just in
flashes.
terms of the macro plays. I mean not the
Oh,
macro plays,
macro.
sorry, the flash plays. I mean, he did attempt to Q flash multiple times and every single time missed. I think Byron played mechanically well and macro was well as well. So yeah, I think the pressure from Byron was a lot more. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the proxying that's like evading on the ganks, the harassing the Olaf in his jungle, he was doing a lot more than you'd ask for from your top Yasuo versus Norn matchup. I'd say, the cards were certainly stacked against him. There are definitely some jungle performances, but yeah, just all things considered, Yasuo into that team comp, into that specific matchup, like Olaf or Horn, you wouldn't expect a Yasuo to have the sort of game that he did. So I'd be leaning slightly towards Byron, but C4J certainly isn't far behind him, and hopefully he can pick up an MVP this next game. And Charybdis can, get the squad under control. He can pick and choose his fights to really keep this third one entertaining because it's been a stomp sort of both ways now. So are we going to have a very close game 3? How is things going to play? But I think we'll have a short break before that. And then we'll see you guys soon for game 3. So don't go anywhere, guys. The deciding matchup of both tournament lives on the line for these teams. We'll see who comes out on top.
Silver Scrapes. See you guys soon.
See you guys soon.
All right, we're back. Game number 3 of the best of 3 between Destiny 2 and DTF. Both teams fighting for their tournament lives. The team that loses this will be knocked out into 4th place for the entire tournament. The next team will be versing Jupy's Angels next week. Man. A lot of unexpected happenings with Yasuo popping off. And yeah, C4J making a comeback in that second game to take us to a game 3. As both teams
Just
have said that
another,
they're ready.
just another draft gap.
Another draft gap, yes. We all agreed unanimously that DTF's team comp looked better, but the execution was not there, as proven by the gameplay.
Now I'm just mad.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a dynamic change that Destiny 2 are now being the ones put onto the blue side. DTF have chosen that red side here, and with stuff like the Unara off the table, that makes sense. There's no real first pick priorities, I'd say, left. So we're going to see a bit of a dynamic change in the draft here, see what they go towards. But I think they're going to be sticking with those same bands of Sejuani, Zach, and Zaya. C4J's champion still getting picked away here. Nasus being taken away from Monkey D. most likely. I think they're scared of these scaling champions, just Strider.
Golly, that flashbang. Oh my days.
I hope everyone caught that one. But yeah, Singe is getting banned as well. That's kind of crazy. I didn't realize Singe was such a crazy champion, but I guess Byron is just too insane at that champion, as we see. Blue side showing its face. I don't know what they're going to lean towards. I'm very curious. Any guesses?
Any guesses here? Or I don't know. I think they've known to just blind pick one of Byron's champions in his days here. Wouldn't surprise me if he just says give me Fizz, but not Ardmona. Ardmona's Tristana is picked up there. I wouldn't say this is like completely blind pickable. They're probably going to try and pick something that can match to Tristana when she jumps in to really duel her down here. But wonder what they'll go towards. But Galio being hovered, I think that is potentially a flex. Asian bus driver probably plays it, so not a bad one. And you know, generally blind pickable, but I'd be particularly careful into Byron, who's got a bit more AD champion pool. But you know, his AD champions are pretty much assassins, which don't go well into the Galio. We'll see what he decides to go towards here. But Volibear going to be picked up as well to partner that, and they've already got quite the chunky front line into that DTF comp.
Wonder what C4J is going to play, to be honest. That his champion pool is very tiny.
We've seen it before. He has played it in the past. I'm very curious if he will pull it out. It's very simple, easy to execute champion. It's quite... I haven't seen it for a very long time, but every time I've versed it, it's always pretty decent. Into the Volibear, I'm not sure how that matchup's going to go.
I feel like it's pretty Volibear side. I'll let Braden comment more on that one.
Yeah.
100%. I think...
connoisseur.
Yeah, I mean, I think Volibear absolutely runs over Mumu here. Personally, if I was in this game, I am not letting this Mumu farm a second camp. He can farm one, but the second camp he is dying. So, yeah, I mean, not too sure what he was thinking there, like especially picking it into Galio Volibear. But
Yeah.
I mean, he must know something I don't.
I think they've figured out that they need to lose draft to win the game.
True. Especially with Janna being picked as well, so his engage is absolutely nullified. So
it's looking very rough for C4J's and Mumi here. Unfortunately, the team comp does not look very good for it, but we've seen last game, so anything can happen really. As Zed is banned away from Byron, unfortunately. I would expect a Fizz ban to follow it up. Ashe ban to take it away from the Janna pairing. I'm not sure how that goes. I'm guessing Ashe is a good counter into Tristana, is that correct? Or
I'm not too sure about bot lane matchups, to be honest.
I think it's a decent laning phase early. You have a pretty big, significant range advantage. But past that, yeah, once you get to those level 9s, probably gets stat checked a bit and you play more for utility. But I think can afford to play for utility, you're pretty slow. Team comp with Volibear Galio.
Jinx gonna ban
But no, it
away.
looks like
Too
they're just
sure
taking away the
what
Jinx as
James
well.
is gonna pick here, to be honest. Do you guys have any
Smolder.
idea?
Smolder.
Molder.
Yeah, I think they could just
Smolder
definitely
angle looks
play,
pretty decent.
play towards scaling
Mm.
here. But yeah, I certainly don't think you want to be playing aggressive champions. Like some people might pick Hawkeye into Tristana and might try and match that burst,
Dang.
but it
Oh.
looks like they're playing towards a Vayne pick, which I'd
Interesting.
say definitely loses the lane, but he's got a generated side to be able to ride it out and maybe goes Vayne spotting, but no, the Cogmore. I think that's an interesting one. I think he's got to be running a cleanse or Mikhail's Russian Jenna for him to be able to consistently get some damage out against an Amumu and a Braum, but we'll see how it goes. He's got quite a chunky front line. He's got disengaged from Jenna. I think it's not the worst pick in the world, certainly.
Kale.
But yeah, Kale being picked
Are
up.
they swapping
maybe
C for
into
James in the
Ricardo.
top lane?
It kind of looks like it at the moment, to be honest.
Nah, Byron's Kale, bro. It goes hard. I mean, they've kind of like they don't even care about the Gallia matchup. They're just like, yeah, just pick Kale. I mean, it worked out last time. We just picked a dominant like laner, and Byron Bernstein was able to run away with the game. So
Oh,
Wow,
wow, there
wait,
it
it
is. The
looks like it's
fizz.
a
He just
fizz
doesn't
for
care.
Byron.
Monkey Mighty Kale.
What
Monkey
amazing
DID
damage.
Kale, or maybe Monkey DID Mumu. We'll see. The team has been swapping around. But
Nah, it's looking
with
like
that
a
locked
move.
away, Kale, yeah, does open himself up to getting counter
yeah,
picked
yeah.
by some of these
Too
more
sure
aggressive
about
ones.
the Fizz here.
Yeah, Fizz is into the Galio on the map is pretty rough.
Yeah, it's just comfort.
I
for
think they
Byron,
know
really.
they've just embraced that this team is just not going to like play draft smartly. They're just going to go towards their comfort champions, and they're ride or dying. It worked for them last game. Why not try it out this game? But again, like looking at the board, normally Kale into this matchup is going to have a bloody difficult time. And it's like all on Strider to make something happen pre-6 and
especially
really
with like
punish
a
this Kale.
super weak early game jungler like a Mumu. I mean, I'm just remembering why I haven't seen a Mumu for so long. It's his first
But
clear is
this
absolutely terrible.
I'm like losing my mind over this Fizz pick into Galio, but you just even with that look at the rest of the
The
team.
rest of the
Fizz
team
just
looks terrible.
is so hard. The target selection, you need to find Janna without her skills up, or you need to find Cogmore.
Yeah.
Just every single fight. But again, you're walking past Galio and Volibear, and even if you do find the Cogmore, chances are Galio's going to press R and just negate half your damage. So it's a really rough game for a Fizz pick, but he's right or dying with that one, it seems. And yeah, the rest of the squad picking up pretty difficult pilot champions. I don't think you want to be jumping on Volibear or Darius or Galio as a Tristana, and a Mumu certainly. He's just going to get eaten up by these bruises. Yeah, it's looking like a pretty rough draft already, guys. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm C4J, I'm definitely crying on a Mumu, that's for sure. Look, C4J's team looks very solo queue heavy draft. I definitely would be alt F4ing before I load into this game. But you know what? We said this before, and you know what? They proved us wrong. So, you know, maybe we see Byron Bernstein absolutely just chalk his lane and just run bot, somehow finds the ult on Cogmore and maybe one-shots him. You know, I have seen TikToks on Kale level 1 into Darius and absolutely just 1v1 solo the Darius. So, you know what?
I do think that Kale does beat Darius level 1 though. I mean, Kale is
Yeah.
like you would think that Kale is like a weak early game champion, but into a melee, I mean, Kale is quite strong, is surprisingly strong. But I mean, what this match is going to be is like the ultimate test of is draft more important or is comfort more important? As we see, like the comfort picks out from Destiny 2 versus this decently strong draft pick. I mean, it is more like comfort with the Volibear. I do note that Volibear's win rate is quite high at the moment. Don't know how good it is in a team setting. I mean, it has the power with the tower dive potential on the ultimate. It's very strong skirmishing. Like it beats like it is like what Trundle was the last few patches where he just beats people up 1v1 in melee matches. So yeah, I want to I said at the start I was rooting for Destiny 2, and I'm going to root for Destiny 2 again. What about the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm going for Destiny 2. I doubted their draft last time. I'm not going to doubt them again. I believe in them 100%. Yeah, Destiny 2 for the win.
I don't know, bro. Like, I'm looking at this DTF
Yes.
draft, and I'm asking myself, how do you mess this up? Like,
True.
there's nothing to mess up on Volibear. There's nothing to mess up on Galio. You could like miss all your skill shots, land a taunt, and you've still done your job. Barely anything to mess up on Darius. Like, this comp is just going to be so hard for them to skirmish or do anything in the early game, which is a bit of the opposite. We were saying like, oh, Destiny 2 had a chance if they got those early game leads, that they had successful laning phases. This is quite the opposite, where actually now Destiny 2 have completely losing early game, but I feel like they have completely losing like, scaling as well. So they've got to play like really good in macro. They've got to like find numbers advantages. They've got to catch them sleeping or find these outplays in these skirmishes. Because right now I feel like, you know, it's the opposite situation where they had an opportunity to win out in the early game with the laning phase using skill. Now it's like, okay, you if you take these early fights first, the Volibear, Darius, Galio, you're probably going to get your ass beat. It's looking really rough, but I do want Destiny 2 to win. I am rooting for them. They are the underdogs. They can finally break the third place curse for Charybdis. Someone's got to break him free for the curse. Give him a sweet fourth, and what a way to do it with this draft if they are able to do it. But yeah, certainly if I was a betting man, things would be different. But right now, I'm with a dream. I believe they can do it here, but a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, even just going on a little bit about the draft still, like, just Cogmore is just untouchable this game. So, you know, it's just, if C4J was to pull something, it would be to somehow get a Q flash ulti off without getting insta taunted by the Galio, or like
Ulted away by
top
Janna, or
exactly.
tornadoed by Janna, or knocked up by Galio, or
That's the only like.
or
It's like, yeah,
Like
it's
lands
the
an ult and he
only
gets
way.
cleansed, and then what happens there? You're like,
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, it looks very difficult. But I mean, if this Destiny 2 side gets ahead at all, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty difficult for DTF to pilot these fights. I think that they will probably fold under the damage output of this Kale, of this Tristana, and Mumu buffing the damage of the Fizz, of the Kale. I mean,
I think if someone was to be ahead, it has to be the Tristana this game.
Yep. Oh, I think the Kale has a chance. Like,
yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Kale early game, she won't be able to like just push the lead in terms of what Tristana can do. With an early lead.
It's
Wait,
just
pause.
it's a natural
Okay.
pause after the
because I
pause.
pressed X
No.
at the same time. Okay.
What time are you on?
We're paused at 55.
55.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Destiny 2 are able to go to late, I don't know. Talk about how hard the team fight is. I'm not sure it's going to be that crazy.
Just where's the damage for these bruises? Like, where is it? Early game. Tell me who's dealing damage.
Yes. No, I agree. Early game is really, really difficult. But if
okay, so we're sacking first 3 dragons and grubs and herald, and then we play the game.
They scale like crazy with the Tristana and the Kale. Like Koggle is the only source of scaling.
You know what? In a perfect world, Kale gets level 16, and then the game is unplayable for DTF. But
I mean, in a perfect world, the Mumu is just not allowed to play the game. But I'm pretty sure this Mumu is going to be able to play the game.
Oh, big trade already, like for the side of Byron, and he's running Ignite. This is what Byron does here. So certainly, Agent Bus Driver has got to show a little bit more respect. Like, once you get towards those magic resist items, it does become pretty favorable. Even if you like royally mess up these trades, you're probably just still winning out by nature of resistances. But early game is certainly a moment for Byron to get a sort of lead and get some gold ahead of his opponent, and that might allow him to play out this matchup a bit better. But already he's going for some unfavorable trades. The push is just always going to be in Galio's favor, has the level advantage, and drops so much damage down onto the Fizz. Yeah, it's a very rough matchup for him. And this is probably the most playable it's going to be once he starts to build those magic resist items. It just gets worse and worse for him. So we'll see if Brian's able to get anything done like he was in the last game. It's a completely different dynamic. But yeah, I would really hope that Ardmona is able to get some advantages in bot lane. But I think Charybdis and Nikuma Senpai have had really good laning phases so far, even in some difficult matchups in the previous games. I'm not expecting them to fall over right now, despite having a pretty challenging game last time. They've been just so consistent, and it would be strange for them to fall over now in the clutch. But maybe that's Ardmona's time to come alive and clutch up for his team. He's been such a solid rock for them this season. So I'd be looking to see him pop off on one of his signature picks. But we'll see if he's able to do it right now. Pretty chill phase, but I'm surprised both junglers are pathing towards that top side. So maybe really looking to punish that Kayle early. But yeah, I would expect bot lane is a pretty important lane to play around this game. But the junglers think differently. What do you think, Braden?
Yeah, I mean, I guess pathing top is somewhat okay, but if I was definitely Volibear, I would be. Actually, no, sorry. If I was C4J, I'll be coming bot lane just because I have the Braum. But here we go. We got a fight in the mid lane.
Oh, he does find a beautiful flash from that distance to get over the wall. So he does find himself at the safety there. And Agent Bus Driver was actually really low, no mana on that Galio. So Byron was finding a really good laning phase, but right now, really needs to crash that wave. He does do so. He's going to find a recall. But yeah, Asian Bus Driver, if he was able to control that wave set a little bit differently, that's like the Ignite versus TP. Jay is roaming around as his Raptors are being taken away from him. I wonder if they know that Byron still is on the map, but he's just so low that I feel like it's just going to be a 1v1 teleport coming in as well. Certainly means I doubt they're going to be able to punish Bot Nash for doing this onto the Volibear. And yeah, he is crying away on this Amumu.
Unfortunately, oh no.
Oh, Byron's stopped his recall to try to help him too. Still burns the flash out, and I think that really messes with Byron's lane now. Galio can probably punish him and get a bit of an XP lead now. Because he's just stopped his recall to help out his jungler. But
when you start Raptors, you're looking to actually recycle the Raptors off spawn, but Jay decides to walk around a little bit, not being there on time.
He watered the enemy Raptors, expecting them to be up or something, even though we saw the Volibear pathing from top to the mid lane. So, I mean, it was really bad misplay by Jay.
Braum is not opting to stop the Volibear. That could have been a kill. But actually,
yeah.
They would have got a flash out, but yeah.
Yeah, but the lanes, honestly, if you're looking at top lane and bot lane right now, the DTF laning phases are going pretty well. Outside of that early mid stuff, yeah, the laners on DTF are showing up over their opponents. Pretty expected for the top lane, but again, we're hoping Ardmona would have a bit of advantage, but again, Charybdis and Akuma Senpai show their laning prowess. Above anything else, these two have just shown they can really dominate their opponents in this laning phase at least. And yeah, they're showing up that they're building up a bit of a lead already for the side, despite, sort of being down that combat summoner.
C4J is in a bad spot, I think.
Yeah, no flash, and he's still opting to go for this play. He really went for it, but it's just going to cost him his life most certainly here. The skills get dropped down. Byron's even trying to turn this one around, but I don't think he can do it. He has no flash. He now needs to be very respectful of the follow-up here, but I think he's just going to be taken down as well. Absolute disaster from them, but he does find a Q out, but the flash through from Butnash is going to find out that second kill. And again, disaster for the side of DTF here. Strider now popping the ghost, has a flank on Monkey Dahadi, has all his skills up. I think this could be potentially a kill if he has a damage, but he doesn't find the auto cancel, not quite enough, yeah. And yeah, not enough mana for that next Q. So it's just going to be a ghost for a flash trade. Not the end of the world for the top lane, but pretty much the end of the world for the mid and jungle. I think that is just going to be completely unplayable for them. I don't know about you. But yeah, I don't think Amumu has access to his own jungle anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we lost Jay since last game. But
yeah, well,
I don't know what happened to him, but
I respect the, a normal person probably runs to his own Raptor pit right here. He's running into the topside jungle after just being murdered for it. He's got gusto. I'll give him that.
Yeah. I mean, it works out because they just took the dragon. They were aware of that tempo advantage to look for this top side. camps, and he's worried that his bot side camps are already gone. But I mean, Bot and Nash kind of not pushing his advantage, not going for those early invades. Byron Bernstein going, piercing his chances. CPJ following up with the Q.
Yeah,
But
I'm looking for the damage. Can you guys find it?
it's sort of there.
It's sort of there, but the whole cavalry has arrived and they've got to be running for now. Yeah, there's nothing to be done. They've got to flash out of the sight of Asian Bus Driver, but I didn't even think he needed that. Even after all the damage is done, he could have popped his ult button. They're finding Characters in the ball lane. I really like this play out of them. They get the flash, they get the cleanse. Are they going to find the damage for the kill?
Okay.
Yes, they are with the rocket jump on the side of Ardmona. They need to get away from that exclusion, and Chanel does get out of the harm's way. Kuma Senpai has to be careful here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if that Q landed, she could be in trouble from Tristana on her head. But nice kill from the side of bot side here. They really come alive. I really had this laning phase down, but they catch him off guard there with that Braum flank, and they find a nice kill over to the Tristana, which is going to be sorely needed in this game, which is sorely losing the thread on the top side here. But it's nice to see some big advantages going the way bot lane here.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Jay, I'm not too sure why he's just spam ganking mid into a aftershock Galio with a fizz. Not too sure what the thinking behind that is, but you know what? I do like to see him on bot side, so see what we can do here.
He's got the ultimate available, so yeah, if they step too far forward, it could be a very good Curse of the Sad Mummy being dropped onto Charybdis, and with Ardmona's rocket jump available, it could be a big engage for them. Oh, he's really playing the nice edge. I think they're considering the Galio roam here. They know that it's a possibility, so they're not pulling the trigger just yet, but maybe they overextend on this particular push here. But Charybdis is taking things nice and slow. This is the sort of controlled gameplay we're used to seeing out of him. And do not look at Jay's topside jungle.
He has to force this now. But Jay's flash is coming up, so you can...
Yeah, if the flash is up, it's a very easy play to make. It's just a flash ult, and now they're overextended. This is the opportunity they needed, and the ult is going to be dropped on both targets. They need to be getting a double kill to be able to make this worth it. They failed the first one for C4J, and they're looking to pick up Akuma Senpai. They find the skill shots and take her down on the second one, but unfortunately, Monkey D. Heidi is lane pushed in, and he's playing weak side William. Unfortunately, they're not going to let him play the game at all, and it's going to be a kill going over to Strider on this Darius. So battle of the top side versus the bot side here. It's going to be very difficult, but wait a minute. Did you guys see what happened mid?
No, wait, what happened mid? Wait, no way, I need a replay on that.
Absolutely smurfing in the mid lane.
You know what, Byron? Yeah, Byron is the X factor for Destiny 2. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he's picking up a kill in a matchup that's pretty criminal here. He did have to burn out. Looks like what looks like both summoners for it, but a kill is a kill here. He's got a kill advantage on his lane, CS advantage in a pretty tough matchup. He's still down by way of those assist gold, but yeah, he's keeping things even and he's going to keep himself relevant. It's just right now the problem for the side of DTF is that Volibear and that Darius, and even if you're putting the Galio behind, he's so much value, and it's going to be on Fizz to really see if he can find value himself. Yeah, it doesn't look like Charybdis' game where he's going to be the main protagonist, but we'll see. He's going to be scaling up here, but Ardmona having a lot of gold in his pocket, this is an opportunity for him to see if he can push any leads, see if he can play with Chanel to get some big advantages, because right now I think, you know, they're in a great position to do so. Hopefully this bot lane can run away with the lead, but looks like DTF are still playing quite aggressive on this bot side, looking to play up. I'd love to see them just force a fight and yeah, just look to find this all in onto Charybdis.
On the side of the red, but DTF keeping hopefully the Cosmos safe here as we see C4J hovering that bot side again.
Yeah, if he's going walkabout, maybe you're gonna look to find Strider, but yeah, this top side's so hard to play around. They just don't have the damage to find the picks that you normally would have with an assassin, but Chanel is clearing the vision line for the bot lane. I feel like they've got to be sniffing out C4J doing something here, but looks like they haven't found anything. He could potentially walk behind with an ultimate here, but looks like they're showing so much respect. The all-in does come into play, but I don't think that's a good flash. I don't think it's going to accomplish much at all, but put Akuma Senpai in harm's way. The rocket jump was kind of scuffed here. I don't really like that one. Big ultimate, but the teleport has come through for the Galio. Asian bus driver has shown up and is providing so much value. No more skill shots, but Bunky D DID teleporting in is going to look to support the rest of his squad. But Nash is going to go down in the middle of these 3 champions. And Byron Bernstein on the backside finds a double kill. It's just so much going on in that fight, but it's a 4v5. It goes 3 for 2, I believe. And we've got... another kill over Byron onto Akuma Senpai, and a nice ultimate to keep him safe there. Be careful now for the follow-up dive, but another kill. Strider's picking up some much-needed plates in the mid lane here to turn around some gold. But yeah, all in all, it's pretty even play. Once Tristana picks up this gold, I imagine in the mid lane, they get some plates down on bot side. The gold's probably going to balance around to be very close, maybe a 500 gap or so for the side of DTF. But yeah, they're keeping this pretty competitive despite the draft, and Byron 4-1 on this Fizz. He's going to have 2.2k to spend in the bank here. Like, you know, if Byron just gets ridiculously fed, like, there's not much magic resist other than the Galio. And he's found an angle onto Charidus. He's overextended here. He has the flash, but I think he's just going to be taken down here. Unfortunately for the side of him, that's another kill going over to Ardmona. And Byron is just so critical for keeping the team in the game right now. That's another kill being set up by him. But Nash is on the bot side to look to set up this dragon. But right now, no one's matching that Kale, and she's getting free plates onto the top side. So yeah, gold being just spread out, and all of a sudden we're back to an even game.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I'm
Action in the bot lane, Bun Nash going in.
Yeah, but
he's keeping him safe.
Trying to get something done, but he's just getting kited out. Now it looks like they have the potential to turn that around. Luckily for Akuma Senpai, that Braum passive just faded away. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that would be a kill. Monkey DID is almost going to get taken down there. No ult for Strider. He'd already used it for the damage, but yeah, he's able to get out of harm's way there. Charidus does show up, but I gotta say, like, you know, Charidus mental after that second game, probably after it slipped away from him, wasn't feeling that great, and it's certainly not looking for him this game. He's got to be playing more of a backseat role, just playing towards scale, hit his items, try to play safe. But right now, he's still keeping that aggressive attitude, and he's getting absolutely punished by the likes of Byron and Ardmona. And we've definitely got a game on our hands here. Strider is picking up a nice tower for himself on the top side. That's going to be first turret, much needed feats going towards that team, and they're going to look to pick up this dragon too, which is the second one on their side. But hold that thought, as it looks like the rest of Destiny 2 are collapsing here. Byron does have that Zhonya to play around, and a beautiful goes on the side mummy. Is going to pick up 4 members here. Now Ardmona running wild in the middle of this comp is going to be dropping all the damage down, but he doesn't quite have it. Finally gets taken down by Byron again, but he's going to be flashing into the waiting arms of Strider. Gets taken down there, but the dragon goes towards the side of Destiny 2, and they've pulled off an absolute heist under the name of DTF. And look at Monkey DID farming safely on the top side. This Kale's going to be getting closer to that level 16, and the much needed items going to be causing her to be such a big threat towards this late game. We weren't thinking, you know, she's going to reach that level 16 without paying a price, but
my game
maybe a mental
reset. My game's also froze, so
James has paused the game just for a mental reset.
mental reset.
He's like, timeout, eh?
I'm out. Just a bit of a pep talk probably to the team right now is much needed, because boys are losing the thread on the side of DTF. The game's still even. They definitely can play this one out, but right now they're in a much more dangerous position when they started, because you look at these champions like Darius and Galio and Volibear. These are more early game centric champions for sure. This Kale is going to be coming online very shortly here, and yeah, this Tristana getting more range every level is going to become a big threat for them. And yeah, it's going to be hard for them to stay right on top of this Kale. Stuff like the Braum is providing so much value in these skirmishes. We're seeing, you know, the draft is definitely unplayable at the beginning. Oh, that's a very annoying hook there for Strider's going to keep Ardmona in lanes. And looks like they're looking to get the Rift Herald on the top side. Still looks like DTF are playing pretty good macro game, but you know, they're just throwing curveballs left, right, and center. Byron now is going to look to pick up Strider on the bot side here. I wonder if he has the damage. Unfortunately, it looks like he didn't hit the ult. Otherwise, I think he definitely had a kill angle for himself, but not quite going to find it. And it's just going to be a Rift Herald picked up for free for the side of that. But still, Destiny 2 playing it intelligently. They know they can't just continue to be completely wild, coin flipping everything. They give over the objective, and they're going to look to find a more favorable fight in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the Strider actually pulled out clutch for that, cancelling Tristana's back, not being able to make it to that fight at the Rift Herald, doing a lot of work there. Intentional, unintentional, it completely shut down Destiny 2's opportunity there. As we see a huge trade by Asian Bus Driver Monkey D Heidi tickling Asian Bus Driver's Galio there.
completely tickling him.
Not
Yeah,
doing
we haven't
much
really
damage.
factored in how much AP is on the side of that, and Galio's going to be absolutely laughing at that damage. But yeah, it's quite the AP heavy comp, but Oliver is going walkabout, and C4J is looking for Charybdis in the mid lane, but right now he's got his Janna ult and in both summoners. This is the sort of point where it's quite hard to punish that Hogmore, and even with that Blade of the Rune King, I'm sure he's going to be dealing lots of damage. So respectfully not doing anything. I think they're just looking for a good opportunity to catch them out. Yeah.
Next objective is in 2 minutes 30. I mean, get another 4-man ult by C4J, and these fights look really good.
Yeah, they got to be playing around Byron and Ardmona. Hopefully both of them can be present in the fight, and they can really use the gold built on these champions to swing the fight into their favor. I would definitely see right now with the Volley Bears not that tanky into the Fizz. You can certainly do a lot of damage, and most certainly Charybdis is an opportunity for Byron to play for a one-shot with how far ahead he is on this Fizz. But yeah, they're pinging it in the chat right now. The inevitability of this Kayle is scaling up in the side lane. Looks like she's playing more towards that Riftmaker build for that consistent DPS, which is pretty smart with the amount of tanks standing in front of her. We saw what happens when Galio matches up to her right now. Yeah, she's going to need a lot of durability in these fights, I'd say. And she's got a lot of auto-attacking to do. It's definitely not an easy team comp to pilot at all for the side of Destiny 2. So we'll see if they're able to manage it. Because even though they've kept the game up to this point, it's still so far ahead. A wrong engage from C4J could cost them. A wrong engage from Ardmona jumping in could cost them. They've got to play really well up to this to keep this game playable, but they've been doing it up till now. I have faith that they can take this game all the way. We'll see if DTF has anything to say about it. Strider looking for a bit of a cheese play onto Byron, but it's a Fizz probably going to be quite hard for him to lock down, and yeah, just drop the E and gets out of dodge there. But side lane's looking pretty good for the side of DTF. Really hard for these solo lanes to match up to them, even though we've got a level 12 Kayle. Not quite playable just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are going to see a level 16 Kayle this game, if I'm going to be completely honest, of just the way the game is being played out. It's kind of a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Yeah. Bit of a stalemate. I think the only opportunity they have is mid, but right now they just can't pull the trigger knowing Charybdis summoners are up. They can't overcommit to that and potentially get a Galio ult on their head. Volley Bear coming in from behind. There's just too much risk involved in that player, so just stalemate. But again, when these dragons spawn, we are going to probably see some action between these two teams, and we're going to see how the exact 5v5 plays out. It's been very chaotic so far, skirmishes, but I don't think we've seen that flat-out 5v5. If Strider is in the mix with this Darius, which we haven't seen so far, get some resets going, it could be a complete problem for this team. And yeah, we see just how tanky the members are right now. The Kayle isn't quite at that point where she can control these team fights just yet, and we've just seen C4J find some amazing ults to keep it playable thus far. I wonder how they're going to manage to do it, but looks like they're going for a bit of a rift ult play into the jungle, TP in the mid lane, but right now they've got a good opportunity. Jay finds another 4-man ult, but it is cleansed away by Charybdis. He is fighting out his heart here, but Byron is going to find the Jenna. Does find the Zhonya's to get out of the harm's way, but Jay does find himself getting taken down by Charybdis. They are looking to kite out in the front line. Strider looking to find something, but the Braum passive is too threatening. They are going to have to reset on both sides and look to find the angles, but there's no real engage opportunities. Byron has no flash. If he goes in here, I think it's a one-way ticket, so he's really got to choose his angles carefully. I think they've really got to play around a Braum passive here, but no one's really jumping the gun just yet. Asian Bus Driver and Strider really looking for their angle. Poking away, doing the dance. Byron looking for a flank here. Could potentially find Charybdis, and he does. He finds the damage down to the Kayle. Ult is going to take him down, and looks like they're looking to turn the fight on his head. They must take Strider before he finds any resets, but it looks like they're kiting him out perfectly, and he is going to go down very shortly. Double kill for the Kayle. Monkey D Heidi picks that one up, and now they're looking at the dragon, they're looking at the towers, they're looking at Atacon. What can they pick up? But Buttonash has respawned, and they're looking just to reset, potentially pick up this bot tower in this mid one. But yeah, I think going for the dragon here with the Volley Bear in the wings is a bit dangerous. Byron caught out by the sun. He is going to look to get out of dodge. C4J finds the bandage toss in with the help of Monkey D. Heidi is probably going to be able to burn down Buttonash. They're finding the damage down here, but the Janet is just keeping him so healthy and alive here. They are picking up the bot lane tower, but this might be a bit greedy to go for this play with Asian Bus Driver and Buttonash on the wings. Charybdis en route. They do call off the play, and that is another team fight victory for the side of Destiny 2. We are seeing they're playing it so well. They're kiting out these fights fantastically, and they find another team fight win. They aren't going to pick up the dragon for their efforts, but I don't think this game's going towards Soul.
I think Jay should not flip this, because if he does die, Arcon is going to lose.
I think they're concerned about the Adacon rush. That's why they're keeping him on the map here. And certainly seems to be that's what DTF are angling here. They just know, like, you know, they've got tempo towards this objective, but Adacon is going to deal a lot of damage to them. They have tanky members, but they're grouping up. GC4J could find another angle. He doesn't have flash to find another 4-man ult, but we'll see what he can get done. They are being very cautious. They're cutting out this Adacon. It looks like they're giving over the vision control now. C4J, though, he's such a low health bar. The dance again between these both teams, looking for their angles, looking for the opportunity to find the engage, but so far not finding anything. They're just respecting each other, and neither team can really afford to opt and start this Adacon. It's just poking away at Chanel right now. But again, both teams just looking for their opportunity. Buttonash is stepping kind of far forward. Does get caught by the bandage toss here, but it looks like the fight is going to be started. C4J gets ulted by the KO, and they're looking to burst down the front line, and they do find that. The taunt coming out from the gully just to peel, but Charitus gets picked up by the Brawn passive, and now Akuma Senpai gets caught as well. The Asian bus driver drops the heroic entrance, but it's just going to be a heroic and painful exit as Ardmona picks up the triple kill on this Tristana. That's going to be an Adacon. That's going to be another turret in the bot lane. And Destiny 2, against all odds, against everything we know about draft theory, is just going to be picking up another huge advantage in this game, and then it's now their game to lose.
Any words, Ryan? Any words? Bro, I'm speechless the
this
whole game.
This is what I was talking about. Like, the damage profile doesn't look terrible from my perspective with the Amumu.
Yeah, we've got
to buff it from
we're level 14 Kale. It's a very different.
True, yeah. We've made it through the early game and made it to the mid to late game. I mean, at this point, I was pretty sure that they could just tear through this front line, these bruises. I mean, the Volibear hasn't really built very tanky at all. Neither has Darius. Going for a hull breaker in this more teamfight-centric comp. Not 100% sure if the strategy or the game plan has been spread around on the side of DTF here. The gold lead isn't insurmountable again, only 6k gold. So, but I mean, I think the comp at this point is
yeah, you say that, but like we look at the champions, like how's Volibear going to be getting flicker blade value? Darius certainly is getting kited out by these particular champions, and the frontline is just not frontlining anymore. We see Ardmona with 3 items, 11k gold on this Tristana is an absolute menace. It's just really Destiny 2's game to lose all of a sudden. This is the sort of comp where, you know, if they make it past the early game, they get a particular gold lead. It's now the reverse. Like, it's just going to be so hard for DTF to pilot these fights. They really got to be playing around their CDs and picking these champions off well. But even with a Kale ult behind them, it's so hard to do. We see when C4J goes for these absolute Rambo engages now, he's got a Kale ult on top of his head every time, and it's so hard to even trade a kill back. It's going to be such a rough road ahead for DTF, but they've got to do something. Tournament lives are on the line. The scoreline is 1-1. As Gator has asked there. So whoever loses this match is out of the tournament. They're absolutely back against the wall right now. They've got to find something. Maybe a Baron steal, a Baron throw is on the cards for the side of DTF, but Byron is absolutely looking for a pick here. He sees blood in the water, goes to Charitus, but it's not quite the engage he wants. He has the Zhonya's here, finds an ult onto Charitus, but there's no angle. Looks like they're playing a really nice front to back, but a beautiful ult from C4.
Wow.
Finds the Cogmore, and they absolutely delete him off the map. Asian bus driver goes down shortly after. Ardmona on an absolute killing spree, taking everyone down left, right, and center. Chanel's not trying to let anyone leave alive with Ardmona. Maybe looking for the jump angle, but doesn't quite find it. They're pinging back onto the Baron here. Even without a jungler, there's nothing to be afraid of unless a Janitornado comes from left field and takes that one. But I think they've got the Baron in the bag now. And again, that's more gold going into their pockets. So probably another tower in the mid lane. Really is Destiny 2's game to lose. They're just doing their victory lap at the moment. But yeah, Charitus, he's just like, he has nothing to deal with the super fed fizz. Even though Byron played that pretty sketchy at the start of the fight, just as soon as Jay lands that ultimate, Byron sees blood in the water, he flashes forward, takes them down, and without this Cogmore, they've really just got nothing left in the tank to deal damage to these members of the side of Destiny 2. Yeah, it's looking really rough. Rabadon's death cap completed from Byron. He's absolute Thanos now in this game. The tanks can't even deal with the fizz. Yeah, it's an absolute disaster, and Hale's just ever so close to hitting that level 16. I don't know what we're thinking, boys, but it's just, it's got to be an absolute miracle from the side of DTF. Do you think it's possible for them to get anything back?
You know,
After this fight, as they do drop as much damage as they can back onto Chanel, but they know they just can't go too far forward. That is a millimeter away from catching someone and probably spelling absolute disaster if that hit the Charodis. But looks like they've found themselves a somewhat positive scenario here. They've got Dragon control. Chanel is chunked out, but looks like they're looking for the angle. The rest of Destiny 2 are closing in. The frontliners of DTF know how cautious they need to play now because, you know, the focus fire from this Tristana and Kale is just going to be so unbearable for them to play. C4J is looking for the angle. I think it's about to happen any turn now. The bandit shot does come out. Another 3-man off. The Dragon does go the way of the volley bear, but Byron is on the backline. The flash comes out, but the Zonyas is there for the Spheres. He's just going to have another playful trickster. Ardmona finding infiltration into the backline, and an absolute explosion comes through as Monkey D, Heidi, and Ardmona combo down the backline. Byron just distracting them all. It is another ace going for the side of Destiny 2. And now I think that is enough for them to finish off this game. 20 seconds under death timers. Waves coming in from mid lane and bot lane. I think this might be the end. We'll see if they push for the end or they take a more, you know, calm approach to it. But yeah, I think they've got the damage. Tristana Fizz should melt these turrets. And I think we are seeing Destiny 2 come out victorious in this best of 3 series. After that first game, you know, you might not have seen it coming, but what a beautiful clinic they put on games 2 and 3 to just bring these games back. Like, absolute insane games coming out of Destiny tonight.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we talk about draft, but who needs draft? Just pick your one tricks. Just pick your one tricks. Like, it just works. It just works on Destiny 2. What a game. Oh my, I did not expect to see that, but you know what? Hey, yeah, I don't know, I'm speechless again. I'm just speechless during
That's
this
your
whole
sister
series.
organization, bro. That's your academy team, Destiny 2.
Literally. I'm so proud.
Yeah. Pulling
All
off
right,
the miracle comeback from that disastrous game 1. I mean, gotta hand it to them. I mean, they thrive in the chaos. Picking these picks that shouldn't really work. I mean, what was it? DTF got away with the Sona, and now C4J is getting away with the Amumu, completely unpunished in this early game. But we need to talk about SVP MVP. Yeah, SVP.
Who wants to start it off?
I think we've shared it around a bit. I'm happy to start off an SVP discussion here onto the side of DTF. But yeah, it's another unfortunate game there. There was some plays made across the map here, but yeah, it's another game where it feels like they got blown out of the water. They had some signs of life there in the early game, but from Butnash really playing this early game volley bear well, punishing C4J for his questionable moves, but he made some later on mistakes, and same with Strider with his Darius. Honestly, it's hard to give it out to anyone. I don't think we can give it to Charodis. He played super aggressive and he got punished for it. He really needed to play the fights well to be able to play this game at all with that Fizz being so far ahead. But yeah, it's just the bot lane didn't do what they needed to do. Definitely overextended and looked a bit exposed for the first time this series in the laning phase. Asian bus driver certainly, I feel like he should have an advantage over this Fizz, but Byron did take the ignite. He showed his champion mastery, showed that he could win out, and I think, you know, the mid gap was there. So I don't know, I'd be leaning more towards jungle myself, and I think Butnash showed signs of life in the early game. Just got a little bit outscaled, and, you know, some big J ultimates that's hard to match. You know, his team is stacking up on him. I think I'd be leaning slightly towards Butnash for this game, but again, there's a lot of argue cases you could go for anything here. It's certainly not a perfect game from anyone on DTF. What do you guys read on the match?
Honestly, it's a bit hard. Like for example, mid, the Galio did not shut down the Fizz like he should have. Instead, Fizz ended up solo killing the Galio instead. Bot lane, yeah. Next, you got Nash. I mean, Nash did have a lead at the start, but you know, didn't equate to anything. But I guess Strider, like, he did actually have quite a bit of a lead, which is expected in the lane. But once again, like didn't
all,
really
all the gold was on
Yeah.
him, really. Like, there was a
Yeah.
2,000 gold lead in the top lane, and it didn't
Yeah,
really
and I feel
feel
like
like
a
it.
lot of that early game proactivity was started off by Nash, and that's why the top side was working out so well for them earlier on in that game. I would say, if they kept that recipe for success, if he was able to continue doing that, the team had a real good shot at taking that game. But yeah, there's a lot of argue points here. Asian bus driver doing the top damage, I think, is criminal. Is pretty criminal on the Galio there. Don't know how that's ever a factor in this game. So just goes to show that the team sort of fell apart and things just did not go the way they expected. But I think if you're just like you look at the first isolated 10 minutes of the game, you can say that Nash probably was doing a good amount of work there. But I think it was a joint team effort past that point to just like let the game fall out of their hands. Yeah, I think, Nash did try his darndest, but, anyone can be argued for a reason why they didn't get SVP here, I think. So
It's hard
just
to-
got to be given out to anyone. What do you reckon, Ryan? You
I'm happy to
throw
give
the
it to
dart at the
Nash.
board.
I mean,
Who do you
again, like, everyone's like performance this game was pretty like even. I think a lot of well, everyone on the team made mistakes. Who made the biggest mistake? It's like it's up in the air, and I mean, I'm happy to give it to Nash this one. He was very proactive throughout the game. I wish he was a little bit more proactive against Amumu. I mean, you need to be shutting him down. I mean, C4J was kind of like falling in his lap a lot of these fights, like that level 4 going for his Raptors, and then again level 5 going for his Raptors. Like, but yeah, we have to give it to someone, and I'm happy to give it to Nash. As we move over to MVP this game.
Yeah,
I got my
I
money
think
on
it's
Byron. I got my
Byron,
money
yeah.
on Byron.
yeah, that's
It's
pretty
a, it's
impressive.
this is a difficult discussion too because there's a lot of cases you can like opposite. You could say, oh, there's a lot of mistakes made by the side of DTF. There's a lot of really great plays and hero plays made by the side of Destiny 2 there. Like C4J lands some bizarre ultimates. Chanel like was playing really well on that Braum. I'd say underrated here. Complete draft. The Braum passive was instrumental in turning out in a lot of these early games skirmishes, and he was landing the Qs where he needed to be, healing where he needed to be. Ardmona having an absolute monster game on him. Like, this is the first time we've seen him really come online and blow charges out of the water. Yeah, he found some nice creative plays to catch him off in laning phase, and he certainly played the fight super well. Yeah, there's a lot of use cases, argue cases for everyone here, but I think we've given Byron MVP here. We've given Jane MVP. I think my vote leans slightly towards Ardmona because he's been a consistent cornerstone of the team. This is his signature pick. I think just storyline wise, he's done a really fantastic job this game. But wouldn't be mad if you guys disagreed and went towards Byron or Jay or anyone else in the squad here. What do you reckon, Ryan?
Yeah, I think this was a team effort. I mean, these team fights is what solidified this game. Fizz, I mean, staying ahead, like Braden mentioned, his money's on Fizz. The Fizz, like, if Fizz was to ever fall behind this game, I feel like it would be a much more different story, and they wouldn't have had that strong early game presence with the Fizz ganking this bot lane and doing a ton of damage in these fights. Amumu finding these 4-man, 5-man, 3-man ults, 2-man ults onto these key targets. He was always getting hitting to key targets as well. Like always landing his ultimate onto Charybdis's Cogmore, whether he had cleanse up or not, being forcing it out. Ardmona following it with strong damage. That early game solo, oh, not solo kill, but the 1v2 was kind of on the back of Chanel as well, flashing in and getting the auto attack, getting the passive onto Charybdis early. Somehow found himself in a 1v2 there, unfortunately for him. But Ardmona capitalizing on that, and Chanel also on the wings, really off of the back of Chanel, honestly. That early snowball started rolling off Chanel's flash play in that bot lane, and with the 25 KP, kind of outshone by the what's that? No, 25 KP as well. So yeah, both the bot laners really playing extremely well this game. Hard to
We gotta make
choose.
a decision.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I want to throw a curveball and say I would lean towards Chanel here,
Ooh,
but
it's fair.
you can. I mean, we've made arguments for three people here. Deciding between the three, I don't know how can you decide between those three players?
I think
Well,
we've all made a vote here, and I see James Ghost in the chat begging us to give it to Jay for blowing up bot lane and with his ult. So yeah, it just goes to
Man.
show that you can go any way in this particular discussion here. Oh man, it's a tough one. Like, haven't been this torn, but I think
I'm-
honestly, you know, game one they lost.
I'm-
Byron came in games 2, game 3, and they won. So what does that say? He's the X
I'm happy to
factor.
give it
Brayden mentioned
to
himself.
C4J.
Okay.
Wait, that's a fourth person. Wait, we didn't even talk about him.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
that's
There's
splitting it
too
up
many
even more.
people. They all played extremely well.
I think
Look, I
thematically,
think-
you know, Byron 100% win rate in this series.
True.
Everyone else is 66% win rate. Statistically, I gotta go with my man Brayden, and I go with Byron at the
All right,
close
let's
on
go
this
Byron.
pick. It's his
Byron,
signature.
congratulations on MVP. That draws to an end this best of 3, going to 3 games. Destiny 2 reverse sweeping the favorites to win DTF, unfortunately. For DTF, they are eliminated and are placed 4th in our tournament. But yeah, speaking of the ending of this, it opens up the road to the next game, the semifinals. Not sure if that's going to be a best of 5 or a best of 3. We'll confirm that later, but that will be happening on Thursday, I believe, next week between Destiny 2, our winners for tonight, and GP's Angels. And the winner of that will face Destiny 1. The true Destiny, the one true Destiny, on Sunday the following week on the 21st of September. So be sure to tune in to those games next week, the week after. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I've been Ryan. I've been joined by Brayden
hello, and bye.
and Blade XR, my 2 co-casters. And yeah, we will see you guys again in the future games.
Yeah. Hope to see you for the next banger series.
See ya.